Good morning, everyone. Before we get started today, Australian Disc Golf has asked me to read a statement about the withdrawal of Cassie Sweeten from yesterday's round. The withdrawal of our most decorated female player and a great advocate for our sport was precipitated by a hurtful, inappropriate and disrespectful meme and comments posted on an online forum. Not only was Cassie impacted by this behaviour, those closest to Cassie, event organisers, other players, spectators, volunteers, sponsors, and those that administer our sport have all been impacted by these comments. The impact spreads through our community and undermines the respect, care, and spirit of the game. The ADG value and listen to the opinions of others, however, will not tolerate and will call out inappropriate behaviour. We ask everyone to think before posting to social media and consider the impact that your comments may have on others. Thank you. Let's head over to the Poimina now for the Championship Sunday.
In the hills of Hobart sits the oldest permanent established disc golf course in Australia. Since 1985, players have been trudging up these fairways in search of disc golf glory. And this year, it's home to the ultimate glory, the Australian Disc Golf Championships. Poimina Reserve, home to sloping fairways, rollaway greens and trees. Lots of trees. Over 3 days of fierce competition, players will fight their way down these fairways on their way to Championship Sunday and the ultimate glory, the Australian Disc Golf Championship. Many stories have been told on these fairways over the years, and many more will be written this weekend. And you'll be here for all of them. Who will take home the crown? Join us and see.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And hopefully you tuned in just earlier for the ADG statement. I think it's important that we just take a moment to acknowledge what's happening there before we move on with the round today. So today is final round, Championship Sunday. You've got myself, Emma Winkworth, and Jason Wiedner again, who have been with you all weekend for commentary.
Yeah, it's been a blast, hasn't it?
It's actually really fun doing this.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
a shame it's come to an end.
Yeah.
But this being the last day, but I'm sure we've still got a big day, some quality disc golf, and yeah, hopefully these ladies in the FPO can finish off a strong competition and we can show it all over the world as we have been. So
Yeah, so we've seen, obviously on day one, things were pretty close. There was a little bit of separation across the four ladies. And then yesterday, probably a bit of the wet weather as well. We've really seen the gaps extend across the field. Jen's really just taken leaps and bounds ahead, hasn't she?
absolutely.
Yeah.
She was pretty solid and handled the weather pretty well. I mean, it looked tough out there.
It looked miserable. Miserable conditions. I think we're expecting the same today.
Oh, great.
In terms of just being really wet, really just overcast and a drizzly kind of rain throughout. I think the ladies got more of a downpour in the morning compared to the men in the afternoon. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. It obviously impacts the style of play. But starting off today, we'll have Jen coming in at a really clean +8. Really, that's great disc golf for an FPO player. Just amazing. I think what's the rating there? Average event rating at the moment for Jen is 914. So that's
She's having a good event.
Quite a boost over her current rating, which is great to see. And then Sarah's round yesterday just wasn't quite what she was hoping, I think. So she's pushed back to +18 overall. A lot of work to do today to try and close that gap a little bit, but I'm not expecting much to change on the leaderboard.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know. But she was solid yesterday, Sarah. But yeah, once again, the conditions were tough, and she'll obviously probably be trying to hope just to shave a few more off. She had a few more shots over the yesterday than she was the day before. So just a nice clean round to finish, I think, from Sarah. She'll be happy with.
Yeah, mind you, the only lady in the FPO field, at least, across both days so far to get out of hole 3 tunnel, which was yesterday, and that was great. Hopefully we can see the same again. And then Tosh as well, just had a bit of bad luck yesterday, actually, I think, as well, which doesn't help, back a little bit on plus 29. So no doubt she'll be hoping that she can claw back a few strokes today as well. We know that she can definitely be coming in with some better scores than that.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like Tosh finished her round yesterday very strong. 16, 17, 18. She drove really well, made islands and looking really good. So hopefully she's had a good night's sleep and she's straight back into it where she left off.
Yeah, exactly right. So we're just seeing the players starting to come together around the tee this morning, and yes, it is looking a bit misty. I think that person's got an umbrella, so it's probably already raining. Hard to tell. We need to zoom in a bit, but I think it's pretty rainy.
There's rain
out
on the
there
lens
today.
of the camera.
The ground's also pretty wet, but I was surprised yesterday. That didn't really stop much of the skip play that this course has in place.
Right. It must be fairly hard ground.
Yeah.
And the grass isn't overly long in most spots because I just don't know how grass can grow that long on those hills. So
yeah. All right. So as we wait for everybody to get ready, maybe we can do some player intros. I think we've just had a couple of tech issues the last couple of days with the ladies getting started first. What if we cut over to, first of all, Jen Lan? No, Jen Lan. I have been corrected by an Estonian friend. It is Jason's been right this weekend.
Oh, so we don't have the
we don't have
intros
the intros.
quite queued up,
We're not quite
unfortunately.
ready. That's okay.
But that's okay.
We can do the intros. I think we've figured out enough about what's going on yesterday and today, the day before. So Jen Lan, I just can't say it. I just don't want to say it.
It's the Australian accent. Jennifer Lan.
Jennifer Lan, based in Sydney at the moment, has been there, I think, from maybe May this year. Estonian girl and woman, I should say.
Who's now just become Australian during
She's
this
loving
tournament.
it.
So
I think
we've adopted her, open up your arms and welcome her in. She's now Australian. She's happy with that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, and I met her at New South Wales Open recently. She had a really great game that weekend, and I did feel like she was going to give a good show here at Nationals, and she certainly hasn't disappointed. But you found out some stats about her yesterday, Jace. What was the most notable there?
Back when she was in Estonia, she's a 2021 Estonian national champion in FA2 division. So she's got success in her bloodline, in her timeline anyway. And she's obviously FA2. That was 2 years ago, probably almost to the day. And she's stepped up since then, come out here. She played the first tournament out here, or New South Wales Open, she played in FA1. Then she's made the jump to FPO. So we love to see that.
Yeah.
We love to see players having a crack and jumping up in divisions. And Sarah Lee, well, most of you watching and most of you who've been around FPO Australian disc golf for a couple of years will know Sarah Lee because she's been quite successful. Was she national at champ last year? And then, of course, Tosh, who's we all know has been in the division for a while and had a little bit of success and just has been a big part of Australian disc golf, hasn't she?
Yeah, so, and look, Tosh and Cassie had been having really tight battle for quite a while, or we've seen them constantly travel and play around the country together and overseas. Sarah's come on through and been battling more closely to Cassie more recently. Obviously, we know she's had to drop out this weekend, unfortunately. But Jen's the new girl on the block, and it's really nice seeing, more and more talent come through and keeping it interesting for us. But we would love to say more. Time to go over to a hole flyover.
Yeah, let's do a quick flyover. They're just having their photo taken. So hole 1, Emma, tell us about that again.
Look, hole 1, probably the flattest hole on the course. So the ladies get to warm up their legs before they start climbing up the hill. Par 4, 200 metres. The first shot is important in terms of placement, but it's a relatively open first shot. But as you can see, the fairway starts tightening up towards the basket, and you really need to start thinking about how you're approaching in to get out of this one cleanly. We have seen a few hits into the rough across the weekend.
And just in time, you timed it perfectly. Here's Jennifer Lahn for a shot. Final day FPO of the Australian Disc Golf Championships in Poimina.
Yeah, beautiful shot to get things started this morning.
Is this a replay of yesterday?
And I think we discovered that pink disc is a bolt.
It is a bolt. It
beautiful
is.
disc.
We were well informed by, I believe, J.K. Bills.
Hello, Estonia, if you're watching
If you've
again
tuned
today.
in today, thank you for the information.
Oh, yeah, that's looking
look at the
pretty
turn.
lovely, I have to say. Wow. It just depends where she's landed in a great spot there. Really great drive
So a
from
replay of
Sarah.
yesterday.
I feel like the MPO guys were basically aiming to land around there. So, yeah.
True.
Great drive.
Big clap for Tosh. She's a favourite.
Let's see what she's got for us here. I think that's a Firehawk of Tosha's. Oh, unfortunate. Not how you want to start your round.
Unfortunately, gripped that a little.
Yeah.
That's the wet weather conditions.
We were talking about it yesterday, right? They slip out easily, so you try and grip them a bit harder, and then you can easily just pull them across to the right too far. But that's okay. It's first hole. She can clean up from here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think what a lot of players will know as well is that with the wet weather conditions, it just throws your mental sort of about how you grip the disc. It just throws it off a little bit because it's wet. You want to grip it harder and grip it lighter, and you don't want it to slip out of your hands. So that's all the mental games of playing in the wet we were talking about yesterday.
And is that Cassie caddying for Tosh? Not sure.
I can't see under that umbrella, but I would say...
I feel like I'm recognising that lovely raincoat. That's all.
Given that I'm looking at the Dynamic Discs umbrella. So good to see you. Yep, and that's how you recover.
Yeah, really great position now. Yeah, great to see the ladies helping each other out. Severe lack of caddies today compared to yesterday's round. I think everybody's been a bit scared by the wet weather.
I love that Tosh got one today, though. We felt for her yesterday. She was out there doing it all on her own, and she did a wonderful job. So, yeah, it's good that the caddies come out this early in the morning and help out the ladies. Jen's caddy's got a coffee there, so he's all set.
And a Bunnings umbrella. There was a lot of discussion about umbrellas yesterday and who's got the biggest one.
Well,
I think it might be that dynamic disc one. That's huge.
Quite large.
That looks like a good umbrella.
So Tosh for a third.
Yeah, okay. So it was looking quite well. I wasn't expecting that one to fade as much as it did, and I'm sure Tosh wasn't either, so it's just curled in around the tree a little bit. It's going to make her next shot a bit more challenging, but I think it's going to be okay. I just think obviously she's probably going to be looking at a bogey on this hole, being a par 4 now.
Look, this hole plays at 4.42 over the weekend in this division. So
not a surprise.
par or bogey
I think
seems to be the average.
A lot of the holes are probably playing higher than the par. I see a lot of standing throws from Jen. It's something that she's really comfortable with, and it's giving her that absolute control, just sneaking around that very low branch there.
That was very, very well directed, wasn't it?
Really great shot from Jen.
Is Sarah still playing? We haven't seen her.
She crushed her drive off the tee this morning. Like I said, that's where the MPO guys have been landing this weekend. So, yeah, she'll be happy with that one. Ooh.
Roll back down.
That breaks my heart. You know, those holes where you have the best ever drive, and then for some reason that throws you off your game, and the next shot doesn't quite do what you want it to do.
Too long to think about it sometimes. You got to sit there and watch everyone else throw.
Yeah. Anyway, look, she's not in a bad position overall,
but
the front side didn't do that first shot justice. Really, that's all.
Looks to be, from what I can see, not a breath of wind again. So
it's
although
pretty
it's wet,
still. I think it's more still in the mornings, and plus the rain and the clouds are going to be keeping that wind lower as well. We'll see if it picks up a little bit in the afternoon. But as we make our way up the hill as well, they're at the bottom right now, right? So as we get up there, it's going to open up and be a bit windier. So she's just given herself a bit of a challenging stance with this one that she was just checking out as she comes and drives her disc off. Yeah.
It's going to end up
shaping around quite nicely.
Oh, friendly
are you kidding me? My goodness.
Was that part of the plan? I think it was. Great shot.
Just as I was about to say, it's shaping up nicely, but fading out a little more than she wants. Bang. And that's the luck that you just need to take sometimes. Smart play from Tosh. Just playing out, opening up the next shot.
Yeah, it didn't have a lot.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is make it into a, what is it, a pinball machine where you're going side to side.
Left to right. The zigzag there.
I've had holes like that before. I should have given up sooner. That looks to me like Tosha's pink fuse. Let's see what she does. Are we already ready for another pure Tosh approach?
Let's see if she's on to Oh, wow.
Yes, we are. She does not disappoint. First thing in the morning, here we go. The PTA is out. Love it.
She certainly made a habit of this over the weekend. Just lasering those approaches, but the depth control as well.
It's amazing. Just there's laser beams from over there, and you know she's always giving herself a chance as well of not just getting close to the basket, but of getting them in, which she does quite often too. So good.
So a par and a birdie so far over the weekend on this hole for Jennifer. As she sends that pinkish red zone towards the basket, which we've seen so often.
Are you seeing pink in that? I'm seeing more of an orangey red.
Pinkish.
All I know is she's throwing a lot of zones this weekend. Well, I think there's only 2 of them, but you know she's throwing them quite regularly. Somehow I don't believe that if I just started throwing a zone all of a sudden that I'd play as good as she's been doing.
The sad part for me is I think I do throw a zone, but probably not that well. I might see if I can get that one off Jennifer. Obviously, there's something about the zone.
She's just really comfortable with her zone, as you see, mainly with a sidearm approach that she's doing it, or even a drive. Now and then. So cameraman's a bit more rugged up today as well.
Yes. I understand a trip out to the outdoors department store yesterday in between rounds.
Got to be prepared for all conditions.
Yeah.
See if Jen can clean up her par.
Oh, why?
That's a surprise. Jen has had really consistent putting all weekend. Quite a surprise for her to miss that one. Not a
So she
surprise.
cleans up,
Yep.
finishes up with a double. And Sarah to take the box here for par.
Yeah, and getting a shot back on Jen early in the round. That's what
Well
we
done,
want to
Sarah.
see there.
And if you look at Jen and Sarah, there's that 4.42 average there, 4.5 average over this hole. So,
Are you sure? Have you double checked those calculations? All right. Well, that was, interesting hole to start with. A bit of a mix of shots in there.
decent walk to the next hole. So I believe we'll go to an ad break.
Yep.
And see you soon.
Disconnection is about supporting Australian players, seasoned and up and coming. I have a fantastic team of players that help contribute to an amazing support network. Outside of our online and physical store, you'll also see us supporting events such as the Perth Open. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
Okay, so we're back and ready to tackle hole 2. I'm feeling tired just thinking about this one today. It's been a big weekend. Hole 2, par 5. We've just navigated around the left side of the Mando pole on the right. And again, you can't tell on this flyover really, but this is significantly uphill all the way to the nested basket. The first battle is just making the Mando, right?
Making the Mando, so it's a particular shot, turning it over around the corner there and just getting... We saw the MPO guys yesterday take a lot tighter line and pinched off a little bit of distance going up the hill, but it is a risky play.
Yeah.
So we've seen quite a lot of them go out wide and I'm told pushing out wider gives you a flatter second shot, a footing for a second shot.
Yeah, you have to run the Mando pole a little bit to get out wider. Obviously, all on the left side, the hill fades off more significantly, slopes that way, and also there's OB rough on that left as well. So if you go out that way, you've got a risk of going OB. You've also got a risk of being just pushed into an awkward position, especially with that other tree that's just slightly up the fairway. I think for the ladies, just the distance of where all of that is located, it makes it harder for them to get up and past it off of their first shot. But we'll see how they go today. They haven't played it too bad around the Mando.
Yeah, it's playing,
I think so far.
It's playing just under 6 average for the weekend, so probably not going to see a birdie.
Yeah.
But par's probably the best way to get out of this.
Yeah, look, I think it's quite a challenging par for the ladies to get this one. If they're getting it, they'll be pretty wrapped.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. definitely you need a lot of distance on this as well, fighting the uphill battle. Yeah. What does it, double the distance?
Pretty much. I'm not sure
We're
on the
like this.
incline equation and all that sort of stuff, but it looks
We need those stats.
it looks really hard from where we are,
Mhm.
which is a shame after this beautiful walk through the bush.
Yeah, so the legs will already be burning now. And fortunately, with all the rain clouds and mist around, there's not much of a view right now from here, but typically there is quite a nice one over across the backdrop. You can slightly see the hills behind. So yeah, just going back to some info about the players that we were starting on earlier. Tosh has been playing since around 2015, I believe, based out of Geelong, same as Cassie and myself. But Tosh and I started playing around the same time. Obviously, Cassie's been playing a lot longer. And then we have Sarah and Jen. Looks like they both started playing around 2020. So newcomers by comparison. And Sarah's come straight out of Ultimate Frisbee and was introduced into disc golf during COVID lockdowns, right?
Yeah, it's become disc golf's, well, it's probably been for some time, disc golf's natural feeder sport.
Sarah is on today.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we're used to seeing from Sarah. I like it. That's great. Really good shot. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's a natural feeder sport for disc golf, Ultimate Frisbee. We see a lot of players come out, and us guys that have been slaving away and working on our form and trying to get it better, we always love to see the Ultimate Frisbee players come in and just straight away they can throw a Frisbee. It's great to watch.
They're amazing. Yeah, really well played from Jen there as well.
They come in 2 or 3 years ahead of us.
Let's see what Tosh has. Yeah, really well played hole today from the ladies. I love that.
And Tosh, you've known Tosh for a while, Emma. I'm going to put you on the spot here, but her surname is pronounced.
Okay, well, I say frequent.
Okay.
I actually have never even asked her. I should ask her. All you people out there with names that are really difficult to pronounce, what did you say yesterday? Just, we would appreciate having some phonetic spelling.
Phonetic spelling sent through, yeah. If we do get it wrong,
I believe it is phonetic. I'll have to double check that with Tosh later. If anybody knows already, feel free to correct us. Nobody's been shy doing that so far.
So I don't think we've seen any of the players miss the Mando on this for the whole weekend, have we?
No, we had one hit the pole and bounce back into the safe zone, and everyone else has got around it or fallen short of it. Yeah, so haven't had any issues there.
Just out into the wide open.
Yep, good position there. So Jen walking up for her second. Quite a bit shorter than Sarah's drive today again.
Yeah, she might just be still warming up. Oh, out comes that bolt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so chipping away to the right side of the hill. Look, that side of the hill is a lot flatter, so it can be strategic to come and play out that way. It's giving you better footing. It's not forcing you to throw up as high on each of your throws. It's just playing it a little bit wider. In saying that, I'm not sure if that was intentional on that one or if she just aimed a little bit out there. Either way, it's all okay. Sarah lining up her second now from a really good position. Straight up the
Whoosh.
hill.
It's like she's
I feel
releasing
like
him
you could
quite
hear
well.
that one.
Yeah.
There'd be a good sound effect off of the disc today with the water flying off of it at the same time.
This is a not so steep part of the hill.
Can you
if you go
sense
to
that
the-
they're struggling to just get up it?
Just working hard.
I feel like we're on a hike.
Eventually, you've got to get up there somehow. So it doesn't matter if you go to the flat side or not. But it just, about 20 or so meters after this, it just starts to really climb.
Yeah, that one definitely looked like a bit of a grip lock. A bit of disappointment there, but again, it's pretty open. Just a little bit of lost distance, I would say.
At the very least, you eat away some distance.
So Jen's just coming up for her third shot now. As you can see, the basket's still quite a hike away,
Yeah,
right?
it's,
So, like I was saying, getting a par on this hole for at least for the women's divisions, remembering that they're playing the same layout, same par as the men, and these pars have really been put in place to challenge the top of the MPO field. So really coming away from here with a bogey, even in the FPO field, I don't think would be that bad. And it's probably what we're looking at quite a few of here.
Yeah, that's a good angle.
I believe that was 3 for Sarah.
That was a third, yeah.
Yeah, so she's giving herself a chance at that par, and if she can get it, it's definitely going to give her a shot or two on the other ladies.
There she is, just all lonely out there on the left. Yeah, as you can see, the flag on top of the basket's jumping around, dancing. It looks like it's sort of a tailwind or left to right.
So she's playing her 4th, is that right? Just coming in towards the basket. Just a really challenging hole, especially where you don't have huge amounts of distance, right? Just getting up the hill. Just a bit of a battle to start with. And I can't say the battle ends after this hole because we go straight into quite a challenging one after this.
This is one of the more difficult physically, though.
Yeah.
Just to walk up this hill. You've also got to play shots as well. Yeah, that one not flipping up.
No,
for
Jen definitely a little bit offline there, so it's just going to make her approach up to the basket a little bit more challenging. I guess we'll have to check that out when we get over there. Sarah coming up now. Hopefully she can get in there nice and cleanly. Still easier said than done from this position. Yeah, there's a lot of trees around, but I think that the good approach here is just to try and laser beam it in through the gap, and if it goes a bit long, we'll hope that the trees behind catch it. We'll see what Sarah takes.
Right side of the entrance.
Yeah, look, it's not too bushy on the right side.
She's going to go straight through it.
She's got straight through it. Faded a little bit away from the basket, but definitely a look at her path.
Par putt.
Mm-hmm.
To start clean, she'll be very happy with that.
Tosh coming up for her 5th shot. Oh, just grabbed a tree there, but I think we saw a putt made from there on day one.
We did.
There's a bit of a straddle look from there, so we'll see what Tosh can do when she's up to her disc. So speaking about nationals, Australian Disc Golf Championships. So last year we were up in Sunshine Coast,
Queensland,
for championships, right? So each year we go around the country, we go to a different location, different state. We had quite a few of the US pros come and join us for that event. Jennifer Allen actually took away the title for FPO. This year, obviously, we're over in Tassie, beautiful place of the country down south. A really nice place for a holiday, and I think a few people have stayed for that between last weekend's rounds. Obviously, we have so many people playing now. We had to split championships across 2 weekends to allow more people to come through with all of the different divisions. Some people have gone across to Tassie and stayed there from last weekend to this weekend. And enjoyed the sights and everything that Tassie has to offer, which is lovely. What about next year? Do you know what's happening for Nationals next year?
I have heard whispers.
Yes. Tell me more.
I'm told Molong.
Molong, yes.
Is that right?
Molong, New South Wales.
Molong, New South
Beautiful
Wales.
course up there. I think it's on an old golf course. I don't think it's still active. I have played it before. It's a great course. It's quite challenging, quite a long course. Tosh not able to make the putt from that awkward stance there. So dates haven't been announced yet, but it's pretty exciting. I think they put on a really good show up in Molong. As with most places, really good vibes. Camp Costa, exactly, a location that a lot of people can come and stay on site, bring a camper van, bring a tent, whatever you like. It's quite an enjoyable experience.
Oh.
Not able to lock in the par. Yeah. It just, and that's the thing, she executed every shot as well as she could have. Still the shot for the par putt was a bit longer than she would have liked. It's a really hard par for the FPO field. So Jen, did she get a 6 there?
Yeah, it gets away with the bogey.
Sarah cleaning up her bogey, and Tosh, I think, was looking at 7 on that one.
Yeah, double for Tosh. So
Yeah.
opportunity for Sarah to take another one off Jen there, but unfortunately just missed that part, just hitting the rim. So
Yeah.
hole 3 is next.
After a short break.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Alrighty, hole 3. We were just talking about this one. Well, tight fairway. It's a tunnel as you're trying to exit the tee pad, down a hill and around a few guardian trees to an slightly elevated basket on a very slanted slanting hill. Massive chance of rollaways when you get down there, but the first problem that we need to
get out of
tackle,
there.
getting out of the tunnel. We have seen the FPO field struggle with this so far. Actually, I think we've seen a lot of cards struggle with this so far. There was
5.86.
an interesting clip I saw of maybe MPO Chase card yesterday. What was going on there? My goodness.
That was the exhibition card, I think.
They were having
otherwise
fun,
known as the
for
chase
sure.
card in PO, but they had all sorts of weird and wonderful ways to try and get down this tunnel and out.
Goodness.
Some of them did, and some of them just didn't. So,
Yeah.
But made for excellent viewing. I think they were hired actually to just come down and entertain the crowd and razz them up for the backup. So they definitely did that. Those Victorian boys. It was great fun to watch.
Sarah, on the other hand, absolutely crushed this yesterday. Let's see if she can do it again.
Stop.
Unlucky.
Slipped. I feel like she slipped a little bit on the tee pad there.
Well, good chance of it. They're pretty wet at the moment. Really, this shot, it's a shot that people execute time after time and again. It's just a straight shot. We do it all the time without thinking about it. For some reason, as soon as you're forced to do it, it becomes a whole heap harder. And that one hurts.
That's deep.
That did not get a good kick
Tim
out
Bowen
of the
deep in
trees. Yeah.
You saw Timmy spend a bit of time in there yesterday.
Much more than he would have liked, for sure. What about Tosh? Let's see if she can get cleanly out of here. Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad.
There's worse places. Absolutely.
She's still in the fairway, which is an advantage over the other two ladies already. Yeah, just a shame. It's such a good shot to watch when they go flying on through and out the end. Not today. And yeah, not for Timmy B yesterday.
Shout out to Timmy. I know he's watching because he has been tuning in.
Hey,
so
Tim.
we love you, Tim. But thank you very much for the entertainment yesterday.
Yeah. This hole certainly doesn't discriminate, does it?
Certainly not. Doesn't matter if you're a good guy.
Sarah managing to get a good out and still, just chew away at a little bit of distance there. Not so sure what Jen's going to have, but are they lining up? Okay, Tosh is going to throw first. Maybe Jen's gone a bit further up, but definitely deeper anyway.
Jen did go. She got a fair way down. I'm going to say 50 metres down there before she took the tree. Okay,
I don't know about 50 because I don't think that the tunnel itself is 50 metres long.
38.
I don't know. We need some stats on that. Feels like 50 for sure anyway when you're in there.
Feels like it for us.
Oh. Yeah, that's a bit rough. Yeah, it just gets to you when you're just constantly playing from an awkward stance and having to really think, not only are you in an
I
awkward
feel like
stance, you've got a really tight line that you've got to throw out of. It's not that easy.
I feel like the footing's not great on that path as well. Just with the rain they've had the last couple of days, it just looks, by the way they're stepping through it, it just looks, see those shiny patches there?
Slippery, muddy, bit of everything.
Yeah. So I think that's an issue as well. We'll see how Sarah handles it here for a third.
Touches a little bit of branch on the way
And a nice
out,
central
but
roll.
she's out. She'll take it.
Beautiful.
This is a par 4. There's already been a couple of shots from most of the ladies, so you can see that this is by no means an easy hole. Sarah's had 3 already, I believe.
Yeah, Sarah's out for 3.
Jen just pitching out for her second, and left herself in a good position for the next shot. Maybe would have liked to be a little bit more central in the fairway, but she's got space anyway to move. Tosha really quite pinched in again, so not sure what she's going to show us. She's got from here a little bit. Is she just going to do a relief shot, or is she going to go for a full pattern pending? Just a putter up to the end by the look of it.
Yep. Pinch off another 10 metres.
A nice, reliable, pure. Would you call that a black or a grey disc?
I would call that grey.
Dark grey.
Yep. Charcoal.
Charcoal even. Anyway, classic Tosh disc, recognisable from far and wide.
So it's been a mixed bag for the weekend for this hole for Jennifer. She parted the first day and took a double on it yesterday. So,
And she's had 3 already now.
yeah, so I wouldn't say she's, look, she's not the only one, but I wouldn't say she's sort of got on top of this hole. It's been a difficult one for most players across all divisions, from what I've seen.
Look, if you and I were there, though, different story. Laser beam out there opening every
Absolutely.
day.
On about my 6th or 7th attempt, I can usually pin the gap. So,
I reckon the tunnel's definitely getting thicker, tighter over the years as well. So as bushes grow more and more branches. Yeah, nice.
safely out now.
Yeah, she
Just needs to
made a
stop.
really smart choice getting her putter to where it
Yeah, I've
was
landed in a
before.
good spot.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a look there at a long putt for sure. So how many had Tosh had to there? I think
I think that was a 4th.
4th. Yeah, not too bad really,
No,
considering I feel like we've been in the bushes a while now, getting delirious.
Yeah, look, she's averaged 6 for the weekend on this hole, so
Yeah.
she's got a putt to make it one better.
Jen for her 3rd, 4th.
Still going.
I mean,
Yeah.
not quite as far as she wanted, but definitely in an okay position. Oh, we've got a spotter down there. I think you said this yesterday as well. As soon as people have all of their layers on, we can't recognise who's who.
We don't know who that is, but
Yeah.
he's been spotting on holes 17 and 16 and 17 as well for the MPO. And he's out there doing his little hand signals to let you know if it's rolling away or not.
What a great guy. Hello, thank you for doing your thing for us.
Do you want to be
I
that
don't know
guy
who
that
you
delivers
are,
that
but
news,
thank
though?
you.
Do you want to be the guy that's telling someone that disc is still rolling down the hill?
I do, because it gives me a chuckle.
Yeah, great job, though, to that volunteer.
4th for Sarah. Yeah, that's a nice approach shot there. Really nice.
Yep. She's got herself a putt.
Yeah, I mean, she's had a tendency to favour playing up to the top of the basket and giving herself a downhill putt. I couldn't think of anything worse on this hill. It's running a downhill putt to this basket. Things can go horribly wrong, but obviously she's got the confidence in herself that she can do it, and she's feeling like maybe there's less chance of her approach rolling away if she plays up there. It's maybe a little bit flatter.
I think coming in with the angle of the hill too.
Here we go. Speaking of that, probably, I don't know if that really stands out to people that haven't been on it, how steep that is. That's pretty steep right there.
I feel like maybe these players have become, after playing this for the third time in 3 days, just a little bit immune to the hills, maybe?
Yeah. If it was me, I know I'd be probably crawling around by now. I don't know if I would have become immune. I would be struggling. Jen's definitely going to run this. She's got no reason not to, really. And she's got quite a solid putt. I'm not sure if I'll back her in for this one, but wishing her the best. Yeah.
Good run up there, and she'll most likely take her double.
Choice with a nice across the side of the hill putt, and not too scary at all, but quite long. Yeah, really just laid it up, I think, there.
And Sarah, chance to bogey this hole?
A chance to bogey it.
Well, the other two girls have
doesn't sound quite right, does
their
it?
bogey chance, so
She's going to try and save
strokes
a bogey.
on folks, they call it.
Try and save a bogey, cut the losses. Let's see how we go. Oh, nice bid, but not quite in there.
Alex Brindle, we found out that volunteer's name.
Thanks, Alex.
So
doing
thank
great
you,
things
Alex
over
Brindle,
there.
doing a great job out there. He's been there every day. I've seen him a lot on the coverage. So it's just one of those people that you can't run a tournament like this without. Thank you, Liam Wright, for that information.
Just cleaning up the putts now. And not how we were hoping to see that hole played, unfortunately. But that's hole 3 at Poimina for
Devil
you.
card,
so.
we call that. 666.
Devil card. I like it. I mean, I don't want to see it, but it's a good name for it. What are you thinking?
Hole 4. Let's do hole 4, but let's go to a break first, and we'll be back.
Hey, my name's Reece Valios and I'm the founder of Disconnection. So I've been playing disc golf for about 10 years and the sport's done so much for me, and Disconnection is a way of me trying to grow the sport here in Australia. Our primary focus is keeping disc golf sales local, and this was the original reason for me creating Disconnection. Our goal is to grow and stock as many discs as possible so that players can buy them locally. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
Alrighty, so heading on to hole 4, par 3, 103 metres. As you can see, we're just playing across the side of the hill here, over an OB road, and then up a hill towards a slightly raised basket. A lot of chance of rollaways in here as well. I don't think we've seen any though.
No, we haven't. They've been pretty lucky on this hole.
Lucky, yeah. I
lucky?
guess.
You call it lucky?
What are we looking at here?
This is a chair.
This is the rest stop chair. I like it. I haven't seen it all weekend. This is what I always want when I'm playing a long round. I get to a hole, especially if there's a backup. I'm like, you know what this hole needs? It needs a rest chair. Somebody made this for me. I'm sure of it.
I'd suggest it's going to be quite wet at the moment.
You know what? It doesn't matter. You're wet all over competitions like this. Before we move on to this whole, let's just take a look at who the sponsor is. And I think we need to just recap on the sponsors for the previous holes as well. We skipped over those. Let Sarah have her throw first. And she's gone for it again today. Did she? I'm not sure if that skipped across the road or what happened. It kind of all blended into the road, the same colour. Yeah, day one I was disappointed. The ladies actually, none of them seemed to be going for the full shot across the road. It seemed more like they were laying up. Yesterday they went for it, and yeah, it was good to see. They did a great job of that. I'm not sure where the disc is.
I think I can see it just up there behind that branch.
I didn't see it the whole time there. I don't know what's happened. I've gone colourblind. Tosh pulled a bit to the right, but I'm, she's looking down, so it must have still got a bit of distance and gone through.
There
Well, somebody's got all the way across. Was that Jen's? Well, that was Tosh's.
I think that's Tosh. I think.
Oh, okay. So
Jen
hers kept sailing, right?
We call that. They're just looking through what we have coined the V tree there, which is a V tree because it looks like a V, but it also takes victims.
I did see a spontaneous victim shout out yesterday.
Well, you mentioned whole sponsor.
Yeah.
Cripps Master Bakers.
Cripps, thank you very much for being a whole sponsor. Do they do a vanilla slice or what? I love a good vanilla slice.
I'm sure they do.
Could go one of those for breakfast with a nice coffee this morning. Okay, so Tosh has actually caught herself in a bit of a bush that looks a bit prickly. So it certainly wasn't her disc that got all the way across. But we'll see what she's got here as a... Oh, she's checking out her options. This is really smart, right? So I see a lot of players come through, especially if they're a bit newer to the game. They just get in, they pick up their disc in a really awkward position and they just throw it. You have options. It's good to get in there, have a bit of a feel around, see what may or may not work. And quite often there's things you haven't thought of that could be a better option than the normal.
It helps also to have extremely well experienced and high decorated caddy as well.
Tosh having Cassie follow her around today on the course. It's really nice to see that Cassie's still out there. Again, it's really unfortunate that she's had to pull out and everything that's happened. But it's nice to see that she's out there supporting Tosh and the other women and still getting amongst it. Really good to see.
Absolutely.
So we're seeing Jen now still on this side of the road as well. I don't know what disc we were seeing over. Maybe it was Sarah's. Maybe Sarah's actually got across before.
This was the one I could see from the catch cam straight down through the hill.
Yeah.
So she just pulled over on it and it turned over. Took a tree, I think. She's trying to get over with this one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. It's only a 100-metre hole. She's already had one shot. She needs to be throwing up there now.
Oh, she made it.
Yeah. And I think there's some pine needles on the ground there that probably just grabbed her disc and didn't let her try and think about rolling away even. So, should we do a flashback to the hole sponsors of the previous holes, because we got a bit excited, a bit distracted by a few things. I think it's important to acknowledge our sponsors. Who did we have as sponsor on hole one?
Hole one was the tournament sponsor, and you've seen their ads come up in our coverage as well. RPM Discs, obviously.
RPM Discs, thank you. We love everything that you do for the game. And the discs as well. And I know one of the fan favourites, at least around the people I play with, is the Waka Waka. Am I saying it right?
I hear that a lot.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's a pretty solid disc. It's
The other one, probably my favourite name is the Takapoo.
Takapoo.
I often hear that one.
All
I think
named
I don't know what it is though.
all named after native New Zealand birds, I believe, and that's the native. What is it? The Maori name?
I believe
for the
so.
birds,
Yeah.
Is that actually on the
I
OB
think-
road, or has it just got across the edge? Hard to tell from here.
Hole 2, which I understand there was quite a large gathering last night at the Granada Tavern with a lot of the players.
Do you know what? Do you think that was as a result directly from all of
Now plugging
the
them.
talk, the plug-in you gave them in the MPO card yesterday?
We hope
I
so.
think you did a pretty good job.
We hope so.
Thank you, Granada Tavern, for being a great sponsor for the event, and specifically of hole number 2.
What a hole to sponsor too.
Oh.
Granada Tavern. Nothing makes you want to go and relax in front of
You
a
need-
warm fire with a beer and a meal more than hole 2.
You definitely need a rest area and a hard drink, I'd say, after that hole. Tosh for her 4th. Similar position as she was yesterday, putting back down from under the tree. It's quite an awkward stance. We saw her get quite low yesterday, but I think she was in a bit tighter again, so it might not be too bad today.
It looks very steep. Maybe it's just the angle they're approaching from too is why we haven't had many rollaways, because of that disc sort of landing flat.
Well, they're throwing up towards the left side, and you can see it's flatter there. On the right side, low of the basket, you can see it's a lot more steep, and it definitely has a huge chance of rollaways. The ladies have actually done quite well to get away from this hole all weekend. Let's not jinx it. There's still some putts to play. They've got through this hole all weekend without any nasty rollaways on this one. Being very smart with that one there.
It was a definite layup, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Now she's got a
not a
lead to
bad
protect at
idea.
the end of the day, doesn't she?
yeah, you don't want to just do anything crazy at this point in the game and let that slip away without noticing.
No.
Oh, speaking of, at least it curled
Did
down
she-
and back up a little bit, but that was really unfortunate.
Was that a
should've
layup attempt?
That was a layup attempt.
Just catching the backside of the bark there where it drops off and just changing the disc angle slightly.
This is one of the mental battles I always have with myself is even if you try and lay up, even if you think, oh, I shouldn't risk it, I shouldn't run it, I should lay up, even if you try and lay up, it can go wrong.
Well, you're still aiming for a spot, aren't you? That's better, Tosh. Yeah, in a lot of ways it sounds funny. You're aiming for a spot to lay it up to because you're not aiming to the spot to get it in. So
Yeah.
you still got to aim for a spot,
You
really.
still have to aim for a spot. So, probably not the best idea, but I always opt for I may as well run it. Because if I'm going to miss it, I want to miss
Yes.
it good.
Sarah
Go,
Kanza.
Sarah.
Is that a par for Sarah?
I think that was her disc that we saw get across. We couldn't see
it
it
birdie?
for some reason off of the tee. The video footage just didn't quite see the disc flying in the air. But we looked up at one moment and saw a disc towards the basket. I think that was hers there off of the tee pad, and she cleaned up for a 2, if I'm not mistaken,
She's
which is
taking shots.
it's a nice 2 to get for sure.
Hole 4's next. Is it hole 5's next?
Getting confused.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I'm just...
Hole 5 is next after a obviously much needed break for Jason. We'll see you soon.
Welcome, player. Commencing disc selection. Choose your driver. The Kotari. Choose your approach. The Kia. Choose your putter. The Tui. Selection complete.
Okay, heading over to hole 5. Jason, what do you think about this one?
So the road is quite early, but we haven't got a double Mando situation. It hasn't been too troubling over the weekend. It's 106 metres and it's down and then back up again. So it's a fairly straight shot.
Down and back up again. Very technical description.
Down and back up again.
I love it.
That's the scientific
It
term
is, though.
for it. If you
It
look at that, see how it
definitely
goes
is.
down and then it comes back up again.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, probably haven't paid as much attention to the Mando on the left. Oh,
And that's how you
Just
play that.
throwing it straight up the guts there. Beautiful shot from Sarah. I know that the ladies have been tending to pull a bit more to the right over the weekend, but we did see a couple of nice straight shots yesterday as well. The hill obviously sloping significantly down to the left, yeah, is probably why they're pulling more to the right. But the straight shot, if you can execute it, that is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, playing at about 3.5, so just over par throughout the weekend. It's Jen with that familiar hyzer flip backhand.
Beautiful shot as well. Definitely giving themselves a good chance at a par on this one. Tosh throwing over a sponsor sign. Glenorchy City Council, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, wonderful local city council.
Thanks for being a whole sponsor.
Well, thanks for supporting the event by allowing it to happen, but also by sponsoring a hole too. So much appreciated.
So just looking at scores so far today, we have Jen on a +5. Not really where she wants to be after 4 holes. Sarah on a +2.
Wow.
She's closing that gap. She's definitely
chipping
closing
away
that
at
gap.
it, isn't she?
There's work still to do, don't be mistaken. And Tosh on a +10. She has not got off to a great start, unfortunately, but we'll see what she has for us across the next few holes. Total overall scores for the comp so far, Jason?
Jennifer Lan was on +13, Sarah Lee on +20, so just the 7 shots behind. And
Gettable.
Tosh Frequent
Nailed it.
+39 and 19 shots behind Sarah. So 10 shots at the start of the day,
Already
7
closing that gap.
shots after 4, sorry. Are we seeing something here, Emma, unfold? Are we seeing a story unfold?
Tosh having a great shot from the drop zone there, maybe a little shorter than she wanted. Jace, I think this is a story very close to my heart. Never give up. You just can't give up. Okay? Things can and do change. You just have to keep that confidence, stick to your game, and even if you're out the back by a bit, you can close that gap. You can start playing better. The other person can start playing worse. You know, you just can't give up on yourself or the game. And as we can see here, where maybe people thought that this gap would be extending, it is closing pretty early on already. So we'll see. Anything can happen for sure.
Absolutely. So don't go anywhere if you're watching. Off the tree.
Nice little bounce off of the tree there. Oh, quite a gettable putt for Jen.
Should allow her to get back on the... I know the bogey train's a thing, but what's the par?
You mean a par train?
Is it a par train or a par bus?
I don't know, mate. It's not something I celebrate.
Oh, stop.
Oh.
Oh, no way.
Sometimes being too good is a problem. See that?
I wouldn't
Hit
know.
the pin, you kiss the pin, and it rejects you.
Rolls back to outside circle.
Poimina roll away at its best, making a drop in shot, an extended putt. That's definitely not an easy get now. Definitely, yeah, she's going to have to work for this one.
Shot at the Glenorchy City water supply there.
What is going on with the camera angle today, Kyle? I'm seeing the basket sideways.
That's Kyle in shots. I think that's Ash.
Oh, it's Ash? Okay. He's trying to make the ground look flat and the baskets
Ash might have had too many pints at the Granada last night.
Feeling a little bit dizzy, but that's okay.
He's been known to do that. Sarah for a long par look.
Yeah, unfortunate. Off of such a good drive as well, you know, just to what she was doing, a pretty good putt up to the basket to an easy 3. She's now going to be getting a bogey, unfortunately.
And an upshot was too good, like you said.
Yeah, and just not what you want, you know, when we're just having that discussion around closing the gap with Jen. Tosh up there. Obviously, she had to go from the drop zone, so she'll be 1, 2. That was her 4th. So she's looking at a double on this one, unfortunately. Nice easy hole for Jen.
Par for Jennifer there.
So I can see a bit of movement in that flag.
Definitely is.
I think there's a little bit of wind up the top of this hill today.
Yeah, it's up.
I feel like this is the most movement I've seen in the flag all weekend.
It has moments of being flaccid.
I'm going to say that there's a bit of a gusty wind around. Tosh, unfortunately, not quite getting that in the centre of the basket of the chains, and it's spat out. Taking a triple bogey, I believe, if we've tracked that score correctly, and Sarah dropping in for a bogey.
Sarah drops one of those shots. She took off Jen on the previous hole, but she's still keen to get them back, I'm sure.
She's in the fight. She's in the fight for sure.
Hole 6. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Hey, my name's Reece Valios and I'm the founder of Disconnection. So I've been playing disc golf for about 10 years and the sport's done so much for me, and Disconnection is a way of me trying to grow the sport here in Australia. I come from a family of disc golfers. Both my father and my brothers play disc golf, and my oldest brother owns Pine Lines Disc Golf Course here in Perth. Our primary focus is keeping disc golf sales local, and this was the original reason for me creating Disconnection. I noticed more and more locals buying discs overseas, including myself, and there was just no outlet here in Australia. Our goal is to grow and stock as many discs as possible so that players can buy them locally. To do this, for the first 2 years, all profits are going back into buying the best stock. In only 7 months, we've grown from 300 discs to now over 4,000. Previously coming from an IT background, I know how important it is to have a functional and user-friendly website. So I created a platform that allows you to search and filter by brand, plastic, weight, colour, price, mould, you name it. So when stock comes in, we weigh, check and photograph every disc individually, so what disc you see on the website is what you're getting, and we post it next business day. We also send a free Zing Mini with purchases over 125 and free delivery Australia-wide, over 250. We also guarantee cheapest price for any disc in stock in Australia. Disconnection is about supporting Australian players, seasoned and up and coming. I have a fantastic team of players that help contribute to an amazing support network. Outside of our online and physical store, you'll also see us supporting events such as the Perth Open. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
All right, and great things happening with disconnection. Obviously, that ad just gets me, it makes me want to get online and buy a disc straight away. As we fly over for hole 6, par 3, cross the side of the hill, 112 metres to a basket amongst the trees. I feel like this hole's probably one of the easier holes on the course.
It is.
Not sure how it's played this weekend across the board. We'll have to go to our stats man for that. But
There is a wider sort of backhand line, which is played just 3.4, so just over par in the FPO over the weekend. But there's a wider backhand line which makes it a little easier, but it's just about avoiding those trees and finding the line back in. It is on the back side of that crest, the basket though, so once again, I feel like a broken record, but
look, I've definitely seen a nasty roll away on that basket in the past, but I think it's not that much of a threat. You know, it can happen. It can always happen, especially on this course. Now, we may have we got a bit of a backup? Or the girls are just getting themselves organised while Catch Cam gets down there, maybe?
This is at the top of the hill, I'm pretty sure, given there's a lookout there.
It's not all the way up, I don't think. Oh, is she going for the OB?
She's gone OB there.
Okay, so yeah, we haven't really talked much to the OB on the left there because we haven't really seen it as much of a threat as yet, but you can find it. You can definitely find it.
Yeah, just not quite getting him to flip.
Maybe an early release or a bit too nose up, fading out a lot heavier. I think maybe Jen's struggling a little bit with the wet disc.
Yeah, look, it probably is.
Yeah. See what Sarah can come with. Oh, she's instantly aiming out that way with a flex line.
She's in.
Definitely a risky shot, Sarah. You're making me nervous. Okay, it didn't turn out too bad, but that was scary to see. Tosh hopefully just playing nice and clean. That's the way to play the hole. Well done, Tosh. Thank you.
That does them all. That's experience for you. Yeah, throughout the weekend, she's been getting those hyzer flips to just pop up nicely, Jennifer, but just a couple today haven't and sort of faded pretty early, but
what I haven't seen yet this weekend, or at least not in the FPO field, is any lost discs. I don't feel like there's a huge chance of losing discs on this course unless you do get one of those huge rollaways that goes right down the hill. You know, I suppose there's some holes that's more likely to happen on. Wonder if there has been any or many lost discs this weekend. If there were to be any lost discs, where would you go to replace it?
probably our whole sponsor.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that now. Because it's Disc Golf Warehouse.
Disc Golf Warehouse. You reckon that they'd have the replacement that you need?
They have everything. It's a warehouse. I mean, it's a warehouse, as I understand, wholly and solely dedicated to disc golf. So, yeah, jump online, hit up Disc Golf Warehouse.
Well, thanks to those guys for being a whole sponsor as well. I'm the type of player that I pack multiples of all of my discs. Always, constantly. It's not just if the course has a high chance of losing one. I can't stand the thought of being without the disc that I want to throw at the time. If I do happen to lose one, I've still got another one to throw, but I will go away and order another one to replace it so that I've got an ongoing supply.
Just the one?
Endless supply.
Just the one?
Look, I may have too many of some.
How many trespassers do you have?
Nobody needs to know that. All you need to know is that I'm armed and ready. So just trying to figure out Jen's OB lie, where they think that it actually cut out from. And she will take her step inwards and slightly towards the basket. Just giving herself some space to move. And you can see she's playing a little bit downhill here. So she does, this is where there is a chance of rollaways, right? Because she's playing towards the back of that crest where it then goes deeper. If she puts too much juice on this, there's definitely a chance of a rollaway happening. Looks like she's lining up a sidearm zone. I'm not sure that that's the line I would take here, but I don't have a sidearm.
Trying to match the hill angle, I think.
But she'll be fading down the hill. Quickly. Yeah. Interesting choice, really. At least it's curled up. It didn't get up and roll. Yeah, I would have just thought, looking at the shape of that line, that you would have gone a backhand to fade up the hill to the basket. But anyway, she's over there. Coming over to Tosh, really nice drive there. She should be able to get cleanly up to the basket for her second. We can see that beautiful view in the background behind Tosh at the same time, which is nice to look at. Oh no, what? Look, it's fine. She's really close to the basket there, just a little bit of a straddle. It just feels unfair. That's all, that she's behind a tree.
Seen players using those trees as breaks or backstops for most of the weekend. I saw Sarah Lee snacks in the top of her bag, and I was trying to work out what it was. It looks like a salad roll or something.
Oh, salad roll at what time in the morning? 9 a.m. Too early for a salad roll. I'm feeling like that's definitely time for a bagel or a hot jam donut.
I don't think you'll catch Sarah Lee eating a bagel.
Look, there's a reason
Maybe
why.
one every 10 years.
Why I'm not as fit as Sarah Lee.
So Jen for a fourth after the OB off the tee.
Yeah. Just laying it up, giving herself a nice easy drop in on this one. I'm not going to let that blow out anymore.
Absolutely.
So she'll be coming away with the double bogey. Sarah's here for 2, is that right? So this is her third shot.
Yep.
If she can get this in, she'll claw 2 shots back off of Jen. So either way, she should be getting 1. I think she needs to go for it, really.
Scary run.
She definitely went for it, just a little bit low. Good on her. Yeah, I like this game.
Yep.
She's here to fight.
She is. She's not going quietly. She's not allowing the book to be closed. Plenty more chapters to come.
Tosh with a little straddle around the tree. Takes that
par
away
for her.
easily. Very well played hole.
Well done.
Just beautiful straight drive off the tee pad, which is what you need to do on this hole. Sarah with a bogue. Jen with a double. Rainbow card. I've seen a few too many of those this weekend.
Yeah, just the OB really making it hard for her on that hole. Not something we've seen her do all weekend. So anyway, we're back shortly after another quick break.
with you for hole 7 after a nice ad from our other event sponsor, RPM Discs. Par 4, 142 metres downhill through a whole heap of trees. Worth noting off the tee pad, it is a bit of a pull to the right, so a little bit of a shaped shot, and down to a protected basket. OB left and long hasn't really come into play. Jason, you seem to feel that there's a lot of trees on this hole. I don't know if there's any more trees than anywhere else, but they're just kind of all over the place. Is that more the point?
It's been well documented. My struggle with understanding the trees on this hole.
What's happened there? I don't think she's in too much of a bad position. I don't believe that's out of bounds. We need to
Yeah,
come back
so
to
there is, Emma, a lot of trees on this hole. I don't know if anyone's heard me say it throughout the weekend, but they're just situated evenly spaced apart, just enough to be annoying.
Sarah doing
Big
a
turnover
nice
shot from
shaped
Sarah.
shot, classic Sarah shape. That's
Love
quite
that.
a nice shot.
Love that.
She's happy.
She is playing well.
See if Jen can answer to this one. As we do a quick thanks to our other whole sponsor, Mountain River Finance Consulting.
Look at that forehand.
I believe that's brought to you by a player of the event as
It
well.
is. Do you know who it is?
Schlobalom.
Schlobohm.
Have we figured out how to say that?
I was trying to make you say it. John Schlobohm, who you see his name often at all the events, and he had, from when I looked yesterday, had quite a good round yesterday, I think. Yeah, he's up into 4th spot in MA40.
Yeah, what did he actually shoot yesterday? It was looking pretty tidy.
2 over.
+2. That's a
That is hot.
great round in MA40. Well done, John. Hopefully you can do it again today. Climb up that leaderboard a few more spaces.
Yeah, a few more shots.
Okay, so Tosh did actually find some OB. Right, so she
Must have
really
rolled.
hooked around. Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not sure what's going on. That's the hole that they
There's
just played
Cassie
before.
off to go about disc
Yeah,
right in there. So.
really curled around. Right. So that was OB that we didn't even have in mind for this hole because that's quite out to the right, I would have thought. Oh, actually left. Which way are we aiming? I'm confused now. Which way we're going. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, so it's rolled down the hill to the left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so
Thank you for that,
it
Kyle.
was the cut roll, yeah. Ouch. Not what you want. So seeing there as well that the path itself is inbounds, it's just to the side of it that was out of bounds. Keeping that one a little lower than she wanted, so not getting all the way up there. As we can see, it's slightly uphill from where she was standing. So you were trying to say yesterday, Jace, that the approach on this hole from some of the MPO players was to do a roll around all the trees, get down there and give themselves an eagle look or worst case birdie.
Yeah.
Did that happen yesterday?
It did. It did.
Sounds pretty crazy to me.
There's only one player that's got it right both days so far, and that is young gun Alex Canaston,
Ooh.
who finds himself still on lead card and
Nice.
in second or third position. I haven't got it in front of me, but he has thrown and laced the roller straight all the way to the fence and given himself about a 20-metre approach every time. So
My understanding is Alex is tied second with David Perry,
you
and
could be
they've
right. You
gone
could be right.
round for round with neg 8 both days, but still quite a ways back from Luke Bain,
Yeah, that
who is on fire.
literally on fire.
Tosh getting up towards the basket there. Still a little bit of work to do on this one.
Yeah, so Alex has been playing sneaky good disc golf. I mean, we're in awe of Luke Bain's round yesterday, but trudging along behind and playing equally as good, and probably, let's be honest, Dave and Alex playing good enough to, on any other day, be right behind the leaders. But Bainey's just I don't know what he did. yesterday. It was great to watch, but he's playing out of his skin.
Bainey, it's one of those mantras. It's like, be the disc. Bainey was the disc yesterday,
Yeah, he was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, we need a disc with his little face painted on the front of it, and we can just see him flying through the air. He is the disc.
With his grin.
Definitely a bit offline there from Jen. Yeah, she's not quite in tune today, I'm feeling, but she's got a bit of space above Sarah. But Sarah's going to take advantage of this, I believe. Potentially get another shot on Jen on this hole.
And Sarah finding herself over near that fence as well.
Yeah, it's you got to take your opportunities, and fortunately, hasn't quite worked out on this one. So they're going shot for shot here as Tosh walks on over with Cassie, caddying for her. Umbrellas have gone down. The rain must have stopped, but as we can see, it's pretty misty and just wet underfoot as well. Just so far away from the conditions we had on day one. It was stunning blue skies, dry, warm.
Not even too hot. Just 25 degrees. And
Just right, you reckon? Tosh just finding a tree as she gets up towards the basket, but I think she'll have a straddle putt from there. I don't think she's too far away. Yeah, look, she's got a putt. It's just not where she wants to be. Feeling a bit frustrated there as well by the look of it. Understandable. The course is just feeling, and I don't know if it's just today, it's been a long weekend so far, it's feeling like it's a bit of a battle for them at the moment.
certainly is.
The scores aren't looking as clean as they were at this point yesterday.
No, definitely not. But just on the scores,
Yeah.
go through a 6-hole recap. So we started the day with a 10-shot gap between Jennifer and Sarah.
Yep.
And that's now, after 6 holes, so a third of the way around, we're down to 7 shots.
Yeah.
So you could be seeing something unfold.
Yeah.
Sarah definitely looks like she's on today.
So I think we were on 7 before, and then it went out a little bit again and back to 7. So she really needs to charge a bit harder, I'd say.
She's keeping the pressure on.
She gave that a run. She knows what she's got to do. Yeah, really wants to give a good battle here with Jen. Jen could also run this. She I don't know if haven't played with her often enough to know if she's just going to lay up and just try and play clean, or is she feeling the pressure of Sarah chasing her and going to start running things as well just to give herself a bit of space? Not sure. I guess we'll see what she does here. Giving herself decent amount of relief from the fence there. Yeah, that's okay. We're allowed to take relief from the fence.
She's got long legs.
We've got long legs. We're not out there with measuring tapes. It's a meter's a meter, roughly, up towards the basket.
Look at that hole in the fence there.
Somebody's broken through there.
Imagine if one of your rollers was on track and just rolled straight through there.
You shouldn't think those things and put them out there in the universe. You've jinxed somebody for the afternoon for sure.
Good putt.
Tosh
Well
has
done,
got in there.
Tosh.
Great putt from her.
For a double.
Yeah, really interested to know now, has anybody somehow worked their way through that hole this weekend? Imagine. Jen coming up for her 4th shot.
Yep, no mistakes there.
Yeah, takes a par, I believe. And Sarah the same. Is that right? I had them both as a
Yeah, both pars.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they, from the drive, Sarah could definitely have been giving herself a chance for a bird, but just didn't get it up there with the approach. But that's those trees, those pesky trees we were talking about before.
Yeah, just a little, but yep, she's still got plenty of chances, and this is still a story unfolding, I believe.
Let's continue to watch this battle unfold at the next hole after a quick break.
Disconnection is about supporting Australian players, seasoned and up and coming. I have a fantastic team of players that help contribute to an amazing support network. Outside of our online and physical store, you'll also see us supporting events such as the Perth Open. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
Okay, so as we come back to the course, we're looking at our hole 8 flyover. This one just progressively climbs up the hill, 140 metres. You can see that road on the right-hand side. It is not OB, not really any OB to worry about on this hole. However, I don't want to jinx anybody. I think we saw yesterday as well a roller line up the hill in the MPO field, but for the ladies, we've been just seeing them shoot a straight shot as far as they can up the hill and try and give themselves a bit of space, either straight or sometimes over to the right, because there is a gap over there too. Just worth noting, Jason and I were just thinking that's a decent amount of relief that Jen's given herself on the last hole from the fence. We did get clarity. It's a barbed wire fence, so you get 2 metres instead of 1 metre.
Yeah, we
barbed wire fence
really
for safety.
See that, or we didn't see it, one of the two. But Jennifer Larn, well onto the rules. The barbed wire fence is 2 metres.
Yeah,
so
and look, I at the end of the day, it's up to the card, the players on the card, and their discretion to enforce the rules that apply there. So I didn't have any issues with that, but it's nice to know that 2 metres for barbed wire was the ruling that they came up with. Well, they didn't come up with, but that they applied, right? They're not making their own rules here. Speaking of barbed wire, you know anywhere where we might be able to get some, Jace?
Yeah, of course. This is a Clennett's Mighty Helpful Mitre 10, hole 8.
Thanks for being a great hole sponsor. You guys have got huge amounts of plugs from the MPO commentators team over the weekend.
Definitely. They're a favourite of ours. We've got a few favourites, actually. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. Local businesses obviously always need to get involved. This one of the shorter, although it's uphill, it's one of the 2 short par 4s in a row.
140 metres, yeah. Not an easy hole, but definitely gettable.
Absolutely. I wonder what's happening on the left there with the construction site. Another disc golf course, maybe? Or houses?
Maybe a bar with a view.
Yeah,
Flash back to yesterday. Finish your round, go and sit over to the side. It looks like there's some good views over to the left.
Certainly.
A house with a view would also be lovely. And potentially a nice warm fireplace. Tosh lining up her next shot. Nice and smooth. And we're moving up to Sarah. She's a little bit further to the left than she would like to be, I think. And the trees, yeah, a little bit. Just blocking her line a little bit. I think she's going to be forced to play it a bit tighter than she wants to now. She has what it takes, though. Hopefully she can get up pretty close to the basket. She could potentially even give herself a birdie look here. And really, if she wants to be trying to battle Jen at the moment, she wants to be giving herself all the opportunities she can.
Oh, she's caught a tree there.
Kept that one too high. She was going for a little bit of a turnover shot, I could see there. Kept it too high and it's faded out. Clipped a little bit of the tree as well, so not quite working out as she wanted.
This hole, not playing too difficult at 4.28 for the weekend, so pretty close to par. Like I said, one of the shorter par fours.
Yeah, okay. I would have thought it might have played a little bit easier, but that's the deception of the hills.
Yeah, I know in
Especially through the lens of a camera.
I know in the MPO, they've got 2-star frames in 2 days. I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, not a surprise. They can just crush those drives on up the hill. Jen's got a pretty good shape to be able to give herself a birdie chance. It's really just down to execution. She's going for a side arm. Interesting. I suppose there's a bit of space there. Oh yeah, that's looking lovely. Okay. A little bit short, but she's certainly up towards the basket. Maybe a bit of a long putt. Not sure if we can flush back to the basket.
Oh, there it is. Thanks,
right,
Ash.
So I think with all the wet weather, the circle lines that have been marked, some of them have worn away a little bit. Hard to see if she was in the circle or on the edge of it there, but she's certainly got a putt.
Touch for a third.
Are you sensing a bit of a PTA here, or?
It's not the right disc, but look, we could be on. Is she going through that gap straight ahead?
Just pulled it around a little bit to the top there. She'll have a putt, not quite where she was wanting to land. Yeah, I mean, the PTA was coined after her pure that she approaches a lot, but I've applied it to everything that she approaches with.
Fair enough.
Since I've decided it's too good to just only pull out now and then.
Sarah for her third.
Yeah, just needs to get up there to make sure that she can get
looks good.
putt. Oh, she was still trying to get the birdie. Are you serious? That would have been phenomenal. That was
really
a
is running
good
everything,
beat.
isn't she?
Oh my God, look at that smile. That is a good feeling. That is a feeling of knowing that you are a good disc golfer and you are here to play.
It's a good feeling when you see it drop straight down.
Things are only going to get better here.
Must have been that bagel she was eating.
Wow, that was nice to watch. Unfortunate it didn't quite get in there, but it was close. Yeah.
She's still keeping the pressure on.
100%.
Jennifer too, because now she knows that Sarah's got a tap in par.
Oh, Jen's got a chance at a birdie here, a long chance, so she's got an easy par as well. So I don't think the pressure's on too hard right now.
Ooh, what have you done there?
But look, I believe in Jen. She's not going to get jinxed by me.
Just a little low.
Yeah. And as Tosh walks up to her putt, what are we thinking that's about? 6 meters? It's hard to tell, but anyway.
Yeah, closer to 8 or 9, I reckon.
You reckon? Yeah. Just taking her time, checking out what the wind's doing, and following her routine, as you should always do. Oh, just a little short.
Yep, leaving a little left in that one. Jen to clean up her par.
Blowing on those fingers, trying to make sure that her hands are grippy. She's confident that they're not going to stick to the wet disc.
And it goes.
Well done, Jen.
As the other girls tap up, Sarah taking a par and Tosh for the double. That's hole 8. We'll bring you hole 9 shortly. Hole 9, par 3, downhill, 119 metres.
I love this hole.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
as
good
easy
looking
as
hole.
it looks, as we've seen.
Perched up on the end, on top of this rock feature, is this elevated basket.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been playing this throughout the weekend?
Yeah, look, we've had a bit of a mixed play on the first day. I think they were just discovering the speed that comes into play as you go downhill here, and the huge skips that you can get off to the left and beyond the basket. Yesterday, I think they played a bit safer, although also finding some trouble with the trees, right? So definitely not as easy as it looks this hole. You really just want to get a really nice straight shot down the fairway so that you're not fading off too much at the end or skipping, and also not pulling into the trees on the right. Sarah actually pulling around a bit further right than you probably want to be.
Yeah.
She may, I don't know if there's OB over there, but she may just be finding that she's got a few trees in her way as she comes back towards the basket now. But the distance with the downhill, definitely gettable to get them down there and be having a birdie look. We haven't seen it yet. Let's see if Jen can do just that. That's
Flipping
looking
that up beautifully.
great. Beautiful shot from Jen. Just actually even didn't get any skip, did she then? So falling a bit short of the basket still, but she's in a really good position to be taking a par, I would say. Tosh just finding that right tree again. I think that she got that one yesterday. Not ideal, but yeah, see her playing more to the right side so that as she fades, she's not going too far left. Yeah, I can see the temptation to do that. This hole brought to you by Circle 5.
Circle 5, Tasmanian based disc golf shop.
So many disc golf shops at the moment. Tassie based shop keeping local supply of discs for all of the crew out there. Fantastic
Yep.
to see. Open to everybody else, obviously, as well. Hopefully, they're doing well this weekend with all the players around. Somehow, I don't know what's happened, but we have moved towards the basket and the basket looks further away. I think we've put the zoom out lens on. But Tosh just now having also a bit more of a shaped shot towards the basket because she's playing from the right-hand side and she certainly does not want to be fading over too far left. But again, there's more trees up in front of her on the right side. So just a slightly shaped shot,
Keeps
keeping
it low.
it a bit too low. Yeah. Loving Sarah's umbrella. I don't feel like I saw that one yesterday. The black and the white trim. Quite nice. just as a side point. I notice these things. One of the things I notice a lot, and I think I've spoken to you about it a lot, Jace, is the best disc golf cart that I have seen going around. Ringing any bells to you?
The best disc golf cart you've seen?
The one that I really love, the one that gets me excited.
Is it an R3 roller?
It might be.
Has it got a blue seat on it?
It's got a sparkly, glittery blue seat, burnt orange frame. Austin D'Alessandro, what first got my attention about him was his cart. I'm like a crow to shiny things. If you ever want to let go of that thing, let me know,
You just buy the seat.
I love that thing. Tosh had a really good shot just then down towards the basket. Was that Tosh? Yeah. Got a little bit distracted, sorry. But I noticed these random things like a little bit of a nice trim on an umbrella or a shiny seat on an R3 roller cart. What is that bird actually that collects little shiny things and brings them back to their nest? It's not really a crow. Oh, it's a bowerbird. Collects the blue things. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
So you're going to go and steal Austin's cart, is that what you're saying?
If a is missing, you know where to look. Oh, that nearly got a nice little skip up onto the rocks there from Jen. So, really giving herself an easy putt for a par on this hole from where she was. And for Sarah, is it open or is the basket tucked in?
It's just
the
behind that
basket's
tree
tucked
hanging
in. So
over
right,
there.
so she's lining up a sidearm.
Trying to get round.
Falling short, I think. Oh no, it's
good roll.
rolled in.
Good
Okay,
roll.
so this is the first time we're
Oh,
seeing
it's just stopped then.
a roll play in our advantage, I think, on this course for the whole weekend. So she's still got to look at a par as well. Really important at this stage in the game if she's going to have any chance to get closer to Jen.
Yeah,
obviously.
she definitely can't afford to give any away.
Yep.
Lovely.
Dead on approach
Lovely
from
approach.
Tosh. No surprises there at all. I believe we're looking at Sarah about to putt for a par. She's given herself a long putt though. See how she goes with this one. She's got the tree right over her.
A bit tougher than I first thought, this putt.
Yeah, it's definitely longer than you want, especially for an elevated basket.
She
Wow,
has hit
good
so
bit.
much metal today.
She's here to play for sure. She's switched on today. It's what we want to be seeing, and just missed that one. But when you're constantly getting that close, you're certainly giving yourself as many chances as you can, and she will start getting them in as well. It's just a minor adjustment on height there for her. Preferably, she doesn't want to be leaving them as long, obviously.
Yeah.
But if it's the difference between a birdie putt versus a par putt, she's going to be seeing that gap narrow with her and Jen. Unfortunately, here though, losing one to her. And Tosh, I think, is putting for a 5. Just getting a bit unlucky at the start of the hill.
Such narrow margins, though, isn't it? Such narrow margins. So many of Sarah's putts today have just caught metal and not chains. And that's what can be the difference, unfortunately.
Just a minor adjustment.
Yeah, but 9 down, 9 to go. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen at Point Mina, that is for sure.
Hole 10 after the break. See you then.
Hey, my name's Reece Valios and I'm the founder of Disconnection. So I've been playing disc golf for about 10 years and the sport's done so much for me, and Disconnection is a way of me trying to grow the sport here in Australia. Our primary focus is keeping disc golf sales local, and this was the original reason for me creating Disconnection. Our goal is to grow and stock as many discs as possible so that players can buy them locally. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
We're back. Hole 10, slightly turning over to the side of the hill towards the basket here. I think we've seen a combination of sidearms as well as slight turnover shots on this one.
I can't.
Hasn't played as easy as we thought it would, because
Yeah.
you're fighting against the crest of the hill in front of you on the tee pad again, and there's a bit of rough as you fade off to the left too. So unless you get clean in the fairway, it's
Yeah,
not as
I
easy
can't
as you
tell
want
you
it to be.
exactly what's worked best. It is a tricky backhand hole for
Yeah.
early fade, and it can get nasty real quick.
Look, I'm just for some reason this hole to me it just really gets me. I'm just wishing I was there right now, and I'm just visualizing in my head that I would absolutely nail this 3 out of 3 rounds with my Saint. Wouldn't happen, of course, but I can just see how my disc would fly around there. Yeah, I'm feeling it. So
Yeah, it's
I
played.
know that Tosh is a fan of a Saint as well, so it'll be interesting to see what disc she chooses to throw on this one.
It's played at 3.28 for the weekend, so just above par. So
Yeah.
not an overly difficult. But no birdies in the FPO on this hole so far.
Very few birdies today at all, is there? I think we got a few more yesterday.
Just the solo today, Sarah, on
Just
hole
one
4.
today so far. I would love to see us start ramping those up, and we're certainly in the right part of the course to see that happen. So Jen getting ready for a sidearm. Oh, that's looking magic. Let's see how it skips up here. Bit short, actually.
Yeah, it didn't get it great.
Just wasn't high enough over the hill there. I think it caught the hill early and just kind of
So
stuck,
she
really.
did birdie this on day 1, round 1. Jennifer Lunn birdied
Yeah.
this, so with a very similar shot to that, I'd imagine. Sarah with the forehand.
Sarah's also lined up the forehand. Okay.
Matty Faz, when I was commentating MPO with yesterday, swears it's a forehand hole.
If you've got a forehand, for sure.
That's the
I
problem,
don't have
though.
that option.
He doesn't.
This one may be a bit higher than she wanted. Oh no, it's turned out quite well.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's got a bit of a downhill putt.
You just
I think,
sort
to
of
the
take it
basket.
as close to those trees as you can, don't you?
I mean, I'm still visualising me nailing this where it's a drop-in putt each time. Pipe dream, maybe.
Look at that. It's the backhand, and there's the fade.
Yeah.
And that's the problem on
Yeah,
sometimes,
she's
unfortunately.
faded down to the left. I think that was the firehawk that she's thrown on that one. Yeah, you really do have to give it a bit to get it to turn all the way. And of course, it's the risk of, you know, if you turn it too much and it cut rolls, that's a danger for sure. So sidearm does sound like the play, so long as you've got a solid sidearm. I've just got a 50-50 get out of trouble sidearm. It's not an off the tee one for sure. Really great to see that the ladies have really developed their sidearms a lot. I think Jen's come in straight away with one. Cassie and Tosh, they haven't always had a sidearm game, and they've really been working on that a lot. And Sarah as well, she's doing it off the tee now. So
Look, on a course like this, to play it without a sidearm,
this is the course you really need it on for sure.
you're going to come into some trouble, aren't you?
Just going down to find the disc. It looks like she's maybe got the gap to throw through where Cass is standing. Can't see exactly where it is though, but they're just looking at a few lines, just getting eyes on the basket. They may not be able to see it right from where the disc is, so really important to take your time to do that so that you're making the right decision.
And this whole sponsor, Emma, Wallaby
Yes.
Hill Disc Golf, apparently a new course. I've been well informed about it from Matthew Farina.
Yeah, one of the few I haven't made it to yet. It sounds like an amazing course.
Yeah, carved out of a dense forest, from what I can understand.
Yeah,
so the guys out
hopefully.
there have done that on private property, and they host a few tournaments out there and that. So when I do finally get to my trip to Tasmania, which has only been 40 years in the making, I will be visiting Wallaby Hill Disc Golf Course, and of course this one. Followed up by a beer at the Granada Tavern.
A few other Tassie. Oh, that's okay. I thought that was going down a bad direction.
So was that Tosha shot?
Believe
She's
so.
got up there.
Believe so. Getting artsy with the camera work.
Lovely up.
Perfect layout.
Lovely up from Jen.
Is Sarah going to run this, or she's got? Yeah. I'm feeling a bit of a half run here from Sarah. She's definitely got a lot of low-hanging branches, as well as the hill to compete with, and a bit of distance still to the basket. It was definitely...
Didn't have much there, did she?
She was definitely running it.
She finished in full snake position there.
And didn't get as close to the basket as she wanted to, so she's still got to do a little bit of work to make the putt, not to lose another stroke on Jen. Tosh just getting up nicely under the basket.
Yeah, this back section of the course is probably going to play a little easier for Jennifer to protect her lead. I would say. What do you think about that? Possibility? I mean, it's still OB. There's still ways you can lose shots, but just seems with a lot of par threes, just seems easy to protect.
Yeah, there's less room for error, right? If we're looking at the par threes, there's less shots, there's less chances for Sarah to gain shots. Not to say that Sarah won't come and birdie a few and Jen pars them, or even worse, pars and bogeys. It really just depends how they execute them. We are losing opportunities now, though, to narrow the gap. That one does not help. Ouch.
No.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so Sarah taking the bogey there. Jen taps in for a par.
And Tosh
Tosh
coming
for
away
a
with a
bogey
bogey
as
as well, I believe.
We didn't quite see her down the hill, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming that was one shot.
Okay, so ready to head on to the next hole after a quick break.
Welcome, player. Commencing disc selection. Choose your driver. The Kotari. Choose your approach. The Kia. Choose your putter. The Tui. Selection complete.
Okay, we are back, and it's an island hole, number 11, par 3, 69 metres. Some would say it's highly gettable. It's also really gettable to get into trouble.
Yeah, look, it can be a separator, this hole. The difficult thing is that most of the island's not visible from the tee. So players shoot up over a crest, and it's, you've got some catch trees on your left.
I don't think this is a problem of visibility. It's really just execution, right? I think that they can see the basket, The crest is a massive one, and the fact is that they're needing to play up over the crest but not fade left, because as soon as you're fading left, you're going all the way down and out of bounds and or into the rough. If they're overthrowing it, they're going out of bounds long, obviously, and pulling up to the right to give yourself a bit of space in your fade. Well, obviously, you've got trees right there on the right off of the tee box, so you can't pull too far to the right too early. Shaping it has a chance at cut roll. There's all kind of things at play here. You really just want to be doing, in my mind, a slight turnover shot up the hill, but you just have to nail all angles on the disc here. Jen's obviously going for a sidearm. She's comfortable with the sidearm. She's got a bit of space on the left. See how it turns out for her. Oh, that did not turn out pretty.
That just turned right over, didn't it? What's a zone?
Yeah.
It must be windy up there if you're turning a zone over.
Definitely a bit of wind. We can see the bush rattling. I don't think we've seen that the last couple of days at all, actually. And the flag on the last basket looked pretty.
So Sarah's going the turnover backhand, which is your preferred shot.
I'm feeling it on this. Sometimes I walk up to a hole and I think I wish I had a sidearm. On this one, even if I had a sidearm, I think this is what I would be playing.
Sarah just falls short.
Just didn't have enough on. So we can see gravity making a stamp on this hole, as we notice that the hole is sponsored by the Derby Gravity Shack.
Yep. It certainly is.
Oh, nobody making the island today. Yeah, hard to watch.
So all coming from the drop zone?
Yeah, not a surprise. It's not as easy as you think it would be, this hole. Unfortunate. They'll all come up to the drop zone, and then even from the drop zone, choosing to run the basket is risky because there's OB just right there, a meter behind. And again, you've still got the fade. So I don't know that any of the girls will be trying to get in the basket from the drop zone. I think they'll just be trying to lay up. Again, easier said than done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, the Derby Gravity Shack, which is a accommodation house which is perched high up in the mountains, has a large deck out the side and a brand new barbecue to use on all your mountain biking trips. So
I could definitely go barbecue right now. I'm starting to get hungry.
And sitting out on a large deck, up at altitude.
Beautiful.
You've just done a big day of mountain biking. Also a workstation and wash bay on site as well. So thanks again to the Derby Gravity Shack. We're just trying to find Jennifer's forehand, is it? Zone?
I'm just scared that I've jinxed the ladies with this round because I said earlier we haven't seen any lost discs yet this weekend.
She's got it.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like that I would somehow be responsible for that if we all of a sudden lost a disc. On hole 11, nobody making the island today. Wow. It's okay. There's another island that they can have a go at.
17, is it?
Yeah, it's a beauty, 17.
Yeah, we have renamed hole 17 Bain Island after yesterday.
Bainey Island. He definitely hit a good putt from the drop zone yesterday, didn't he? Save his par. Ooh, even trying to lay up. You can see it's risky over there. They just start skidding down towards the OB.
Yeah, trying to land the layup about a metre in front of the basket.
Oh, Sarah was actually running it. She is trying to make a move. I could see her dialing it in, and I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you. But that turned out okay. Tosha, I think, is just going to play pretty smart here.
Run it, Tosh.
Oh, is she like...
Run it.
Okay, she's lining it up as well. No, she was just...
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. That is our first PTA of the round, is it?
the actual pure Tosh approach with a pure disc. I think it is. And just almost kissing the pole. So they should all be cleaning up, well, moving away with a 4 from this hole, assuming Sarah will make this, which she does. As does Jen, and pretty sure Tosh has got this.
So 3 bogeys on hole 11 from our
Ouch.
card, with none of them making the island, which is a little
really
disappointing.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
Look at that view of Hobart.
Yeah, it's clearing up a little, and it hasn't rained for about 5
minutes.
Probably about half an hour, so things might be looking up. We'll be back with hole 12 after this short break.
Heading over to hole 12 now, Jace.
Hole 12 is next. We're nearly 2/3 of the way through the round. And we've got a right to left vicious sloping hole. 66 metres, so it's not that far. But is that another backhand turnover shot, you think? Or your forehand? Would you throw a forehand on here, Emma?
I would just laser beam. Laser beam something up here. Not sure. The distance, it's getting shorter, isn't it? So you really have to think about what you do put up here.
And that is gonna...
Is that gonna curl right under the basket? Oh, sit.
It's rolled off the
Oh my
ledge.
God, where's this going?
Oh, stop. No way.
Okay.
Oh, that was such a good shot and didn't deserve that.
So
I'm hurt a little bit now.
Poimina is having a say today.
Oh,
for
there
sure.
it is.
These
You
are
wanted
the
it, and there it is,
rollaways.
Emma. Oh, my heart hurts.
It hurts, but wow. It's thrilling to see.
Oh,
Even this. Okay, that's going to sit. Okay. Luckily, she caught a bit of scrub there.
I feel like the players won't have any idea where Jennifer's disc
No,
is. So
and that is the thing on this hole. Maybe we should have spotters out there. I don't know. They've got through it not too bad the last couple of days.
she's probably
but
thinking at the moment, I've done all right there.
they just roll. They just disappear into some scrub. Let's see what Tosh does.
Oof.
That's looking glorious.
Pull up. Just outside circle there for Tosh.
Nicely played.
This is the part yesterday when Tosh started
Turning on.
really turning on her drives, yeah. Oh, Jen's disc could be anywhere. I can't believe
It rolled up to the basket.
Under the basket.
Under the basket. Hello, goodbye. See you later.
And then just rolled off the retaining wall.
Oh, man. It hurts.
Sarah's got the jacket off, which is a good sign for the weather.
It's warming up.
Repping that Team Heiserflight gear.
Oh, that's a good shot too.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that. Just
Yeah.
caught a little bit of a tree.
Just inside, I reckon.
Yeah, it was shaping up nicely to be absolutely parked though. You can see the slope of the hill here. Not at all surprised that Jen's disc just got legs and kept on running.
She's looking for it up the basket. Oh, this is gut-wrenching. This is...
Okay, go left. Go left further, deeper, far away.
Yeah, look, Ash
No,
is
I think
pointing
it
to it
actually
now.
got caught up at one point.
Ash is
yeah.
pointing to it now, delivering the good
Cat-
news.
Catch cam Ash /
She's like, I threw it
disc
up there.
spotter. Oh, yeah, you did. Don't worry about that.
What do you mean? I thought it was up there, she said.
Welcome to Tassie, Jen. Welcome to Tassie. She doesn't know how to
She doesn't
process
believe
this. She thinks we're having a laugh. She thinks that we've planted a fake disc on her. You'll have to rewatch that one back, Jen, to
Then the
see
caddy
how
comes
it all
over. No,
unfolded.
can't be down there.
He's like, what? Up there? You threw it up there.
Oh, there it is. I think I can just see it.
It doesn't look like she's too far down, and she's got maybe a... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, dear.
Look, I've certainly seen things go worse than that on this hole, to be honest with you. Let's cut to a replay.
Absolutely.
I feel like this needs a replay.
Let's see if we can get a replay of that roll.
Here we go, tracking beautifully. Comes over to the left, and does it sit?
It's
No,
up a
it doesn't.
little, then stables up.
Thinks about rolling around to the basket. Hello, basket.
Boom.
Goodbye. Will we cut back up to the basket? No, we won't. No, we won't. Will we stop in this first little set of bushes?
Wow.
We keep going down. All right. Sorry, Jen.
Just in case you didn't believe us.
I know that felt bad for you, but I kind of got to be honest, I enjoyed seeing it to some level.
Oh, lovely up.
Great up from Tosh. She'll take an easy 3 on this hole. Sarah's psyching herself in to get this one in from circle's edge. She's going to give it a good run. I think she's going to get this one. She's due for one. Oh, she was close.
So many times today, Sarah Lee. So many times.
She's all around the basket but in right now, isn't she?
She's been doing this since the first hole. She just that extra few degrees, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Jen can still manage a par from here?
Yeah, she can still get a par from here. For sure. She's got a little bit of overhang, though, in her face. I don't like that much.
She's going to knock it down a little. Lovely.
Yeah, great save.
Lovely putt and a par save.
Yeah, I mean, for all of 1 second, she was looking at a drop-in bird. Didn't quite unfold that way, did it?
No.
Okay, so 3 pars on this hole, I think. As we move on over to hole 13, we'll take a quick break.
Welcome back. Hole 13, par 3, 85 metres. Quite a vicious hill to begin with.
So
blind off the tee.
I just have to say, on the last hole where we just saw Jen have a vicious roll away, this is the rest of behind where she dropped. So if it pushed through that extra layer of bushes, which it didn't, it would have gone to this viciously slanting hill and continued to roll. Okay, I've seen that happen. So she actually got quite lucky. And just a score correction on the last one. Sorry, I think I called Sarah as a 3, but I think she actually did have a 4. Refer to PDGO over me. I'm doing my best, but I'm not perfect. Yeah, this one, it's a change of scenes, right? Because a lot of the holes that they play on this course, the hills are slanting to the left and this one slants to the right. In my mind, that makes it an easier hole to play. As a predominantly backhand player, I can pull out to the right and fade up the hill. The ladies have been playing a lot of turnovers and sidearms, and they've probably just gotten used to having the hill slant the other way this weekend. So we saw that yesterday they weren't quite calibrated and it didn't play as well as we hoped. But really, it should just be a fairly straight shot. Again, you've just got the crest of the hill in front of your face and lots of trees around. As we're quite used to at Tassie, but as long as you can push down there, you've got a good chance at an easy 3.
Yeah, just
She's
what a
getting
nice
rolly
roll.
again, but rolling up the
It's a
hill,
handy
so she's okay.
roll. Yeah, so it's played just on par for the weekend.
Yep.
Exactly on par. So it's not one of the harder holes for this FPO division.
That's
I think
looking beautiful.
It's just about getting that nose angle up a little to get over the crest, but then keeping it fairly low to push through as well. So can't get in too much trouble, I don't think, on this hole.
No, and so both Jen and Tosh are in fairly good positions up on the left side of the hill. If anything, you might want to be less to the left and just be a bit closer to the basket, but you can't complain with being there at all. Sarah going way too left, I think, on that one. Here we go. Oh.
Catches a log.
A well-placed log for Sarah. Yeah. So as easy as this hole can be to play, you can see how quickly it can go horribly wrong. So I would say most people have played it pretty well. The scores, averages look pretty good. But I believe there'd be 1 or 2 very high scores on this hole just where things did roll away.
There would have to be some, you would imagine.
I mean, as we head up towards
Let's
the
have a look.
basket, who's the sponsor of this hole?
Myallen Athletic.
Yeah, do you know much about them?
Sporting apparel manufacturer.
Yeah. Lovely.
Fabric as smooth as silk.
Oh, that's what I want. You definitely want some smooth feeling fabric when you're playing disc golf course and you're out there all day long.
I feel like I've seen Myallen and Circle 5 with they may manufacture Circle 5 apparel. I may have just made that up. So maybe someone could tell us on the chats. But I'm pretty sure.
Been making up a lot of things this weekend.
Just this weekend, yeah.
You just throw something
I
out
feel
there
like
and wait for
I've
people to
seen
correct you.
Chris Ronalds, our Melbourne MPO and Throwlers DJ, repping a Circle 5 top with a Myallen logo on it.
Okay.
I just feel like I've got that in my memory, my photographic
it.
memory. And I just, if someone can correct me or tell me I'm right, which I even prefer.
Well, we can go straight to the source, Chris Ronalds himself.
Chris may be able to tell us himself.
Tosh going for her second. Oh, I thought that was going in the basket. That's a PTA, pure Tosh approach. Not sure if that was a pure, but still, it was a pure shot for sure. Sarah just getting herself organised and hopefully taking a moment to thank that log for saving her from rolling all the way down the side of the hill just before. Landing a bit shorter than she wanted to. She seemed to have quite an awkward stance there, right in against the log and the angle of the hill. So she's got a bit of work to do to make the putt. Jen, on the other hand, has a little bit of a downhill putt, which, there's a lot of chance of rolling away here. There's probably a bit of a chance of rolling down into somebody's house here, it looks like. Is that a house that we're seeing right behind the basket?
It certainly is. Imagine that on a Sunday.
House with a view. Disc golfers dream, that house, I would imagine. Hopefully a disc golfer does live in there, or that we can convert the occupants into the world of disc golf. Great posture for Jen as she lines up her putt. And she decides that she's not going to run this one. The last hole has rattled her. She knows now.
She's all of a sudden conscious of the roll away.
The roll away. Okay. She understands now.
Oh,
Great
Great putt
from
from Sarah.
Sarah to save her par. And Tosh with a decent putt as well. Decides not to risk it.
yeah, I feel like the wind is doing a lot more than it has for the rounds
Yeah.
right about now.
It's
And
definitely there.
nothing gets in your head quicker when you're putting in the wind.
The wind and a whole heap of self-doubt.
I don't need wind to self-doubt.
All right. So, what did we end up with there? 2 3s and a 4, I believe.
3 and 2 4s.
Three
So
and
Jen
two
taking
fours.
the bogey and
Yeah.
Sarah getting the par.
Okay.
And
So we make our way over to the next hole.
yeah, just a short break and we'll be back with hole 14.
Disconnection is about supporting Australian players, seasoned and up and coming. I have a fantastic team of players that help contribute to an amazing support network. Outside of our online and physical store, you'll also see us supporting events such as the Perth Open. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
And we are back, and as Jason said, we're up to hole 14 now, par 3, 85 metres across the road, with a slanting left downhill
Down and
battle.
up again. It's one of those down and up again holes.
This, to me, as I said yesterday, it's just a straight throw, really. Don't be deceived by the tee box. You've got to go corner to corner. Place yourself on a tee box for the shot that you have. Don't just follow the shape of the tee box. We saw the MPO guys do that quite well yesterday. I'm pretty sure we saw Tosh do that very well yesterday.
Yeah, excellent tee box deconstruction on this hole by you, Emma. Very, very well noted that the ones who are taking Emma's advice are the
Looks
ones
like
that are hitting
Jen's
it through
hearing
the
me
gap.
right now. Look, she's put herself into the correct position. She sees it's just her in the basket. Straight shot, nothing else there. Just go for it.
And there you go. There's your answer.
Beautiful. Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful.
Parked.
Lovely.
Great shot. Big smile from Jen.
Love that. See if Sarah heard us.
Corner to corner, Sarah.
I don't know. She's coming out pretty
Just
wide,
like Auntie
though.
Emma said.
She needs to go corner to the other corner, not on the right hand side. Let's see how she runs down here. Yeah, I feel
gonna
she
work.
was right side of the
It's
tee
gonna
box,
work.
but it's okay. It's fading.
Oh, that's... Gave Ash a scare there. Great shot, Sarah.
There. Okay, come on, Tosh. 3 for 3. Let's do it. Oh, we're going for a star frame. As long as she can get in there. If anyone can throw a nice straight drive, I know Tosh can. Corner to corner. Okay. We love this.
It's high.
Yeah, I
It's
think she
fading.
found a tree there. She just pulled it a bit too far to the right. So although she lined up the tee pad well, I think she overextended the arm on the release. Till we get over to her disc, not sure if she'll be blocked behind anything, but it's not, it's fairly open over there. It's just, you've obviously got to throw back up the hill at the basket again, where the other two have a pretty easy birdie look, I would say.
Yeah, it's such a steep tee pad up there. You see how long it's taking him to get down. Sponsored by Kingfisher Disc Golf, Emma.
Yeah.
Based in Townsville, another disc golf retailer. It's great to have all these.
Bringing discs to the local Townsville population.
Well, it just means there's more discs in Australia,
and all
doesn't it?
around, obviously. We see all of these different disc golf providers and stores sponsoring events, setting up stores at different competitions to make it easy for all of us to get the discs and the supplies that we need to keep on playing.
Absolutely. They've got all your brands.
Really good group of people over there as well.
Name me a brand.
Name me a brand.
Name me a brand, I'll tell you if they've got it.
Dynamic Discs.
Yep, got it.
RPM Discs.
Got it.
Event sponsor. Caster Blast.
Got them all.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll stop playing because they've got them all.
That's a random game, but okay. Did I win? I don't like playing games if you can't win.
Tosh for a second on 14.
Yeah, looked like it was nice and open for her there, so she wasn't in a bad position at all.
Chen for her first birdie of the day, is it?
Yes, it would be. Can't let that mental pressure get to her right now, though. She just needs to commit to her putt. She's taking her time to zone in, actually, here.
Yes.
Executes well. Well
she
done.
She does seem to be, as we near the end of this tournament, be concentrating and lifting that level of concentration, doesn't she?
Yeah, because you can get fatigued by the end of a competition and you can just start making silly mistakes. So she's reminding herself to take her time, to go through her routine, to focus on the things she needs to. Even if that's taking her more time to do it, she's waiting until she knows she has done it, and that's a really important thing to do.
Yep.
Sarah cleaning up her birdie as well.
Yeah, well done there, Sarah.
Tosh with a nice easy par. As we move on to hole 15, let's head to another short break.
Hole 15, par 3, massive downhill hole, 108 metres. Mando tree on the right, we're just flying past now.
There it is.
So up on the road on the asphalt is OB, but hasn't bothered too many people this weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't come into play too much. Beautiful scenery around the tee pad here. And yeah, as we're looking down, the Mando pole on the right, all well and good, throw to the left, but you can see there's quite a lot of bushes over there as well. So they really need to think about placement and shape on this tee shot and just try and punch down as far as they can, but give themselves a next shot. You know, you don't want to end up in that rough, in the bush or right up against the tree. So Jen getting into position now. Yeah, I've got to be happy with that. She's down there nice and cleanly. And as Sarah gets onto the tee box, I'm just joined briefly for a minute here by Maddie Faz in the commentary box as Jason takes a short break.
Good
Maddie,
morning, everybody. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning. Thanks for joining. Have you been following these ladies along for the round so far?
Very, very closely inputting graphic numbers for the team.
I love your work. Thanks for helping us out. What are your highlights of the round so far from today? We've seen all kinds of things happening.
Well, apart from your astute commentary, just the ladies being able to fight through the conditions and play still relatively clean. It's clearly wet and windy today. I think yesterday was mostly just wet.
Yeah.
And a lot of sensible golf from Jen has been really noticeable. She's just sort of keeping her foot on the throat of Sarah, not letting her make any ground, so to speak.
Just holding her down, but not quite stomping her. Is that how you would describe it?
That's a violent analogy for disc golf.
Yeah, look, Jen's been really clean this weekend, but as you rightly noted, each round has gotten progressively worse in terms of conditions. Day one was spectacular. Yesterday we saw all of the rain and the wet conditions, and today we've got the rain as well as now wind, which seems to be progressively picking up. So it will be interesting to see as well how that impacts the FPO field as they start teeing off later in the day, if that wind continues to climb.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Did you happen to see any really great shots or any really wild shots that the ladies played so far in this round?
It might have been our first Park Media replay of the whole event. Jen's roll away on, I believe it was hole 12.
Classic Tuzzy.
Yeah, that was a little bit unjust in my opinion. Sarah's birdie early, I believe it was the drive past the V tree over the road. The one that Alex Canaston almost aced yesterday.
Yeah, it was a beautiful drive from Sarah. We couldn't quite see it, if you remember, through the camera lens. We saw where it landed, but we didn't see it as it was happening. But really nice that she nailed the putt and walked away with that birdie early on. Started making a statement against Jen that she could narrow that gap, although things haven't quite continued that way.
Well, it hasn't been for a lack of trying. I think even the shot she just threw, I believe she was trying to run that.
She's definitely trying, but in terms of a score update with where we're at the moment, we've got Jen and Sarah both on a +7 round today so far. Really for Sarah to narrow the gap, obviously she needs to be having a better round than Jen today. She was for a while, but she's also just lost a couple here and there, bringing them back even for the day.
Yeah, I think the prime example of that was on hole 13. Sarah had an obstructed putt, and you could tell that she was trying to run it, gave it a bit more zip than she probably normally would, and sort of pulled it into a tree. I think if that was round 1 or 2, she would have just laid that one up. But knowing the circumstances and knowing that she has to get busy and make ground, she's taking a few more risks, and that's just how you have to play.
Yeah. Toast just shaping nicely out of the bush and tree that she's in there.
Yeah, I've never really seen Tosh play, but she's a very composed, very stoic figure. She doesn't look like, it doesn't seem like a lot gets to her.
You haven't been able to be on a card with Tosh yet.
I'm not sure I've ever had a conversation with Tosh.
Wow, holy moly. Where have you been living, Maddie Faz? Come out from under your rock?
Too far from Geelong, I guess. No, I don't get to as many events as I'd like to. But one day, Tosh, you and me. Oh! She looks back and says, that almost came in for
That
me.
nearly came in. Just a little bit long, maybe.
Exemplifying the strength of that right to left breeze. Almost a helpful breeze in that case.
Sarah's a little bit further away from the basket than she would like to be right now.
Yeah, she's got a little sort of left to right headwind putt here. Whether she stays aggressive or not will make or break probably the final outcome of this event. Oh, she got aggressive, but wasn't punished.
She has just been getting so close to the baskets today, but just not quite getting there.
So we see Jen just outside circle.
Is she on the outside of the trees or lining up to go through the trees? It's hard to tell from this angle. Oh.
Yeah, that right to left wind playing with that putt. Pushing it to edge. That was an unfortunate roll away.
She's going to have a bit of work to do to come back from down there now. So yeah, the wind's definitely starting to play a factor. They haven't been used to tackling the wind on the hills so far. And also the fatigue by this stage, no doubt, after 3 big days of disc golf, as well as any practice rounds. Things are just getting really hard for the ladies to close out their round. And the scores are starting to climb a little bit for sure. Not what we really want to see, but it seems they're all being impacted by this, right?
No, most certainly. Sorry, as Jen putts there. You know what it's like when you're playing in the wet and the cold. That fatigue's only accentuated.
Yeah.
It's just the little things involved with playing in conditions like this that make you tire a little quicker.
Yeah, they're all just slightly offline, I think. Just that little bit.
Yeah, Tosh with a pretty breezy headwind putt there. Just dipped on her at the end. Jen cleaning up her bogey here, I believe.
Is it, or is it for 5? I'm not sure now.
Little reset from Jen there, just making sure the mitts are warm.
Definitely feel like the ladies are needing some hand warmers in their pockets right now. Don't know if they brought them for the weekend, but I'm a fan of those little hand warmers for cold weather conditions.
Yeah, maybe they could head to Circle 5 disc shop and pick up a friction glove, perhaps. Reese Wisniewski approved friction glove.
Have you ever played with a friction glove yourself?
No, I haven't. I tried with a mountain biking glove once in the snow, and that was a terrible idea. It was like a liner, but yeah, no, the disc felt totally different.
Yeah.
As we're about to cut to a break, we'll see you shortly.
Hey, my name's Reese Valios and I'm the founder of Disconnection. So I've been playing disc golf for about 10 years and the sport's done so much for me, and Disconnection is a way of me trying to grow the sport here in Australia. Our primary focus is keeping disc golf sales local, and this was the original reason for me creating Disconnection. Our goal is to grow and stock as many discs as possible so that players can buy them locally. Disconnection, connecting you with discs.
Okay, we're back with you for hole 16, par 3, 97 metres. I feel like this is probably not playing too hard this weekend. It's one of the more open holes on the course, right? So the challenge is really just getting enough distance off the tee and ending in a good position again, that you're not in the ditch or behind that one tree short of the ditch that we saw. I think both Jen and Tosh were forced to play from yesterday.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So, and when you're over at the basket, there is a bit of a chance of a roll away for a missed putt. Hopefully we don't see that happen.
Hopefully not. What they're going to really be contending with here is that left to right breeze. If she keeps it on too much hyzer, which she doesn't.
Oof. Did she find the ditch? She jumped across the ditch. Okay,
Pops a
yes.
little ollie over
Very
the
nice.
ditch. Wonderful, Sarah.
It's interesting. Like, I feel this hole plays longer than it is in terms of the distance, and I think it's just the changes in elevation as they move across from the top of the tee down into a little valley, up a ditch again. Yeah, because 97 metres isn't a crazy long hole, but they're struggling to get very close to the basket. Oh, Jen's in the ditch. Awkward play. I guess she'll play that from behind.
Yeah, Jen was just a little low there. She got the hyzer up to flat, which would have rode the wind. As I said, that left to right really a factor here. Just a little low, and the wind just didn't allow that one to come out at all.
And Tosh, hopefully keeping it more to the right today as well and not getting stuck in that bush. That's looking beautiful.
A little bit of ride on the wind there.
Oh, not in the ditch. Skipped into the ditch. So the ditch is about the distance line of where the ladies have been getting across the weekend. Like I said, 97 metres to the basket. Where the ditch is, what I'm thinking, it's around 80. That's not that far. These ladies can throw consistently more than 80. So the distance is getting eaten away from the elevation for sure. You can see actually they're walking down quite a slope of a hill right now. So it's coming into play somehow, that it's not just a smooth sailing downhill where you would pick up distance. It's, you know, I don't know the science behind this, Matty Fats.
It's the Jason down up mold.
The technical
of
terminology. We're going down and back up again.
Yes.
It's like, what is it? The IT crowd. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Classic.
It's about as far as my technical abilities go there. Yeah, I mean they're going to be approaching a very exposed basket. Again, managing the wind and making sure you can get that disc landing on the right angle is going to be very vital. Kyle trying to keep up with Jen.
The trusty zone is making another appearance.
Yeah, you definitely want something to dump into that hill on this. I believe she'll throw a forehand.
She's standing down in it? No, she's standing behind it. Yeah, smart.
So Jen throwing two.
Stayed a lot straighter than she was probably expecting. Didn't come back to the basket. She's got a putt, but I think the wind here is having an impact. And Toe's just standing on the edge of the ditch as well, but able to throw more straight towards the basket. Easy drop in for her par.
Great touch, Tosh.
Great upshot.
And Sarah, I don't think she'll be laying this one up. Hasn't been taking her medicine all round.
She's
if she
got to
did,
make one of them, doesn't she? If she took the medicine, if she took her medicine, who would have given it to her, do you reckon?
I reckon a trip down to the disc doctor would have been on the cards for Sarah.
Love it.
Our MPO leaders, one of his major sponsors there, Disc Doctor. Thanks for sponsoring Hole 16, guys. Your contributions do not go unappreciated. So we see Jen here lining up her par putt.
Just a bit low.
Seemed to be pushed down by that tailwind.
So Sarah with a chance to get one back on Jen here. Which she did also just in the last hole get one on her as well. Not going to get one here though.
That could have brought it back to 8. Still a pretty safe lead for Jen. Definitely safe now at 9.
Yeah.
Don't want to call anything early, but I'd say she's feeling pretty comfortable.
It's only 2 more holes to go. It's going to take something pretty drastic to change the leaderboard now, I would say. In saying that, we're about to head on down to hole 17 where anything can happen.
I know you love hole 17. I'm going to bow out, guys. I'll see you later on for the MPO round. I'll hand you back to Jace and you'll hear his dulcet tones again after this break.
Thanks, Maddie.
Welcome, player. Commencing disc selection. Choose your driver. The kotari. Choose your approach. The kia. Choose your putter. The tui. Selection complete.
We're back when we're looking at the hole 17 flyover in beautiful Hobart, Tasmania. Look at that view. Conditions today aren't as great, of course. Luscious green hole, island shot, OB pretty close to the basket, and not that easy to get in down there, is it?
No, we've seen the best shots we've seen are just the straight pushing, hugging the trees on the right.
Straight pushing, yeah.
Straight pushing, straight at the basket, straight down there, keeping it simple. Stopping on the island can be a problem. So interesting to see. And I love the tee off point there, just right next to the clothesline.
Yeah.
Just with the wash of whites on today.
Yeah, so interesting views for sure of the neighbourhood, but beautiful views down into Hobart. It is clearing up actually as we say that. So you coined earlier though this whole Bainey's hole on account of something that happened yesterday.
Bain Island, yeah.
Bain Island, not Bainey's hole.
In a rare mistake yesterday, he actually missed the island. I think he
Holy
skipped long
moly.
from memory, and he went to the drop zone, and he just casually flicked the putter out as he does,
Glided it in, didn't he?
and putt up the hole. At that point, he couldn't do anything wrong.
Let's see what for us. Just keeping it a bit low, not making it down to the
Yeah,
island.
catching a hill early.
So,
Tosh with the box again towards the back end of the round. It's
Yeah.
definitely her section of the course, isn't it?
she does play this back half quite well for sure. So Sarah lining up a backhand straight laser beam shot. That is looking
Oh, it's looking good.
glorious.
Come on.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
goodness, that was beautiful. Okay, that is the best shot that's happened
That's
for sure on this
and
whole
the salute
all
from Sarah.
weekend. Amazing. Love that, Sarah.
That's the pushing straight shot I was talking about, Emma.
That's the pushing straight shot for
That
sure. I
was
can't argue with that.
Delicious.
Oh, Jen
Ooh.
feeling the pressure, trying to combat that shot with a sidearm, and yeah, just not sure what happened there really. Maybe a twist of the wrist. But this hole brought to you by Local Discs.
Local Discs, another Australia and New Zealand based online disc golf store. I understand. Spend $100 or more for free shipping.
That's a good deal.
That is a great deal.
I hate paying for shipping. I absolutely hate paying for shipping. Free shipping, $100 worth of discs, happy days.
Which we all know we could spend $100 on disc in about 3 minutes, so
Very easily.
it shouldn't be a problem.
Ladies walking down now. Sarah, the only one to make it into the island. She didn't just make it into the island. She is parked.
Doesn't get more parked than that.
Parked. Nice way to be walking down the hill for her, for sure.
We love a good parked on Park Media, don't we?
100%. Now, what I'm wondering is, are Tosh and Jen going to take their medicine and lay up, or run the basket with that OB right behind it? Are they going to channel a bit of Bainey? Tosh isn't feeling it.
No.
Okay, she's not ready to go for that right now.
What about Jen? What do you think? Mixed bag from layups from her. It looks like she's
getting into position to give it at least a half run. No, she's hesitated there.
Yep.
Yeah. And still, Sarah's closest to the basket. Absolutely killer drive for her.
That is as good as you can play this hole.
I mean, you could ace it. I was really hoping to get an ace on the FPO cards during live filming. Could you imagine? I would scream the place down.
The thing about the ace, though, if you're getting an ace run, you're got to throw something that's going definitely OB if it's not in.
So a bogey for Jen and bogey for Tosh and a birdie for Sarah.
Yeah, great birdie.
So she closes that gap a little bit more coming into the last hole. Wow. It's been an interesting round today. Sarah's had her opportunities to really close the gap a lot more. It hasn't quite played out, but props to you, Sarah, for not giving up and giving it a crack. Anything can happen on this last hole.
Yeah, look, she's had some bad luck with the metal hits and everything like that. But, yeah, let's go to a short break and come back with the final hole from the FPO ADG Championships.
Hole 18, it is the last hole of the FPO Australian Disc Golf Championships 2023 at Poimina, Tasmania, and we have 3 ladies on the card: Jennifer Lan, Sarah Lee, Tosh Frequin, and quite a bit of separation across the field as we're closing out the round today. This hole, what do you think? Is there an opportunity here for things to change drastically right at the very end?
Maybe by a shot or two. I'm feeling Sarah Lee, I know, has gone for the island both days and come up agonisingly short.
That board, that sponsor board, wow.
She was higher on it yesterday, so I feel like she's just going to clip the top of it today and sneak on there. That's what we all want to see.
She has to run it today. I think she will.
Jen's laid it up a couple of times.
No, yesterday she went in quite wide to the right that she nearly went OB on the other side. So it's all inbounds on this side of the canal.
Empty canal.
And then on the other side, it's a rectangular island, right? So the canal is OB. We've seen a few discs go in there, and then there's an island that's wider on the right-hand side. So Jen was really far right yesterday, but you can still get an easy par from there. Sarah's really going to be trying to give herself a look at her birdie.
Come on, Sarah.
Can she get over the sponsor board today? She's going for it.
Get up. She's doing the crouch.
Left. No.
Oh, the front of the canal.
She's denied. 3 days in a row. She hasn't quite got there. It's a shame. Because now she'll be heading to the drop zone with a penalty stroke as well.
Yep, 7 shots between these two at the moment.
Jen, I believe, is going to go for it.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Maybe she won't, but I think she will. And I think she'll make it.
Oh, she's gone wide again.
Wow.
That
she
turned over,
really loves the right-hand side, or something a bit flippy to get the distance. Maybe this is just playing longer than it is.
There's a fair headwind today, you can tell.
Yeah, Yeah, so I got 2 going to the drop zone out of 2. Tosh hopefully has learnt from that and is going to play smart and
She's
lay
gone
up,
something
but she's
more
gone quite.
overstable.
Yeah, she's gone overstable. She's definitely safe.
Lovely layup.
Just a bit more to the right than she probably wanted, but
She did take the
probably
wind
did
read.
that to chew a bit of the distance off as well, maybe.
Yeah, she definitely took the wind read off the other two there.
Yeah. So she's looking just to get another stroke back from the other girls on this hole.
Great to see Cassie out caddying the entire round for Tosh today, being
Yeah,
supportive.
what a great team.
Yep. Good friends for a long time.
Done with that umbrella.
Don't need that.
Don't need it. Stopped raining. It's
We
the
saw
last
that.
hole.
Get it on the way back.
The caddy needs a caddy. That's what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it has been a great tournament. They've given us lots of excitement.
There's
over
been
the
highs
last
and
3
lows
days. There
for
certainly
sure.
has.
There's been a lot going on this weekend. Been really enjoyable for us to do the commentary, though. It's been, been really fun. Thank you for everybody that has joined in, watched us live or watched us later, and for sharing all of your great feedback about this as well.
Yeah, we couldn't have done it without you guys giving us all the information we've missed, all the information that we just flat out didn't know. So we've really appreciated that feedback as we've been calling this. Oh,
Tosh on for a last minute attack of the basket, just fading out a bit further left. And Jason, I don't know if you're just speaking for yourself there about us being filled in with all the information we don't know. Is that?
No, that's purely and simply for me. I haven't watched a lot of FPO, but I think you'll all agree with me that having Emma here to call what's happening and tell us all about these 4 ladies.
I've got some insider knowledge because I've played with them all. I know them all quite well.
We've been very lucky, and you've done a fantastic job, Emma.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everyone out there will agree. So thank you from PRKD Media, and thank you from everyone out there watching, and thank you from the FPO players as well.
Thanks, Jason. It's been really fun to commentate with you. Thank you as well for bringing the fun to it and making sure we don't miss out on recognising any of the sponsors all the way through. I've also been loving your MPO coverage, so I will be tuning in for that later today also. But obviously for you being a new player to the sport, there's a lot of just fun facts and things about people you don't know. You're keeping it pretty interesting just the same and making sure you learn that information as you go. So props to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been fun. It's definitely something I've been enjoying doing.
You think you could see yourself doing this more often?
That's up
make
to
a career out of it.
Yeah, that's really up to everyone out there, I suppose. If I'm not well liked, I'm not well liked. So.
Tosh not
Tosh
able
for the
to
run.
lock in that putt, unfortunately. She did leave her upshot a bit wide. So missed out on that chance to get a shot on the card.
And she finishes off a tournament there.
How are we sitting with overall scores? Tosh will be finishing on a plus 25 for today, so plus 54 overall. Jen Lan just finishing up there with a bogey as well as Sarah after being in the drop zone. So Jen taking a plus 12 today, plus 20 overall. So really the scores did get a bit higher with the tougher conditions today. Sarah finishing on a plus 9 today, plus 27 overall. So our winner of the FPO Australian Disc Golf Championships 2023 Poimina is Jennifer Lan.
And she's happy with it, as we can see.
Well done, Jen. I've slaughtered your name again. Jennifer Lan. I just can't help it. Sorry. really great to see you get a win, starting to mix things up in the FPO field, and looking forward to seeing you out at the next competition as well.
Yeah, she can certainly add that to her 2021 Estonian National Championship. She's got one in FPO now, and she's got one in FA2. So there's our 4 competitors there. Just finalising the scores. All smiles.
All smiles, all relieved to be finished getting around this hill for the weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, Sarah
as
worked
well.
hard today too. She clawed back 3 shots early,
Yeah.
and she really went out there with
She-
with chasing her down in mind. And
She came on, switched on today for sure. Really switched it on from the start, put a bit of heat on, just wasn't able to keep it as consistent the whole way through, but she did have the hot round out of the FPO today.
yeah, and a really solid
so
second.
She gave it a go.
A really solid second in the national championship. So she's got plenty more disc golf
Look at
left
that.
in her.
That's all of our top ladies in FPO. Women's disc golf in Australia. Cassie over, I believe, the one taking the photo. You missed seeing her there, but she's around.
There she is, the honorary Australian, as we've coined her.
Oh, she's ours now.
She's Australian now.
She's here now.
Australian
Don't
Jennifer
worry
Lam
about that.
taking out.
Oh, there we go. There's Cassie as
And
well.
this is what disc golf's
Giving
all
her a
about.
big hug.
This is why we play, because the people you meet, relationships you form, and just the vibe around the whole sport is what keeps us all coming back, isn't it?
100%.
Fantastic job to our Park Media cameramen too, as Ash gets a high
Ash on
five.
catch cam. Kyle bringing us the scene we can see right now. And the boys in the background, Amos and Toph,
Yeah, you
bringing
can't see
everything
them.
together.
You can't see them.
Doing all the cutovers, controlling the, moving from this cam to that
They're
cam.
in our ear.
This
Amos
audio,
brought us a
that
replay
audio.
today, and I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, he's getting ready to give us. We've got to come up. What's the park version of a slow mo?
Reverse parked, I think they call
Reverse
it.
parked. We need to get Amos all across that.
So yeah, it's been 3 days of absolute fun. Early morning, but absolute fun.
Early morning tee-offs for FPO, definitely, but they did that on purpose this weekend just so that they could do live coverage of both the FPO and MPO so that our ladies get the attention they also deserve. It's not all about the men. It's been really exciting.
Absolutely.
I've really enjoyed being part of it. Thanks again for having you all along, joining us on the journey, and thanks, Jace, for making it fun to do.
Yeah, look, it has been fun. Thank you, Emma, for your expert tips and knowledge. All the guys behind the scenes, Matthew, Farina also for jumping in.
Our sidekick, Matty Faz.
Yeah, he's our stats man on the side. Dean
He's
Feely
over
does a mountain of
there.
work too. So
Yeah.
thank you to everyone. And on behalf of Park Media, that's us signing off. And thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, 1:30 today, MPO final card. Don't miss it. It's going to be a beauty. So thank you very much once again. See you later.
Thanks, everyone.